Ladies, gentlemen, NBs who are watching or listening to this podcast, welcome back to the Coffee Club after 6 years, I think. It's been 6 years.
6 years.
Since we last did a recording.
I'd argue it's been 7 years because we did a little
experimentation.
Yeah, we experimented and no one will see the experimentation.
Yeah, no one will ever see it. It did not exist. If you saw it, you did not see it.
Yeah, that was buried a long time. Well, I said it was buried a long time. It was on the channel up until a week ago.
I mean, it was
actually no, was it? I think I got rid of it ages ago.
You got rid of it ages ago because I checked on the SoundCloud. So before we get into everything, I just want to show you like the struggle that it was getting access to the accounts again because it'd been so long. So like when we had the idea, I think I went to Fraser with the idea to be like, let's do the Coffee Club again. It's been a really long time and a lot of stuff has happened since then. So let's bring it back. Fraser agreed, but then the problem was I hadn't signed into any of the accounts in like 5 years.
Yeah.
So SoundCloud was telling me, hey, we don't know who you are. We're going to send you a verification email. And I looked at the verification email. I completely forgot the email that we used for the podcast because I don't know. Yeah.
I like if it's one thing that it made me realize is there is actually some good security because at the end of the day they were doing their job. Like, we haven't accessed that account
really,
for 6 years.
Well. So like when I went back to the account, I was trying to figure out what email it was, and then I typed in an email for the podcast, right? But it turned out that this entire time I was trying to sign in to another person's email.
They've probably got like worried that you've been trying to like hack.
I've been trying to hack them. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. They probably got worried because I signed in and it said, please type the last password you remember using on the account. And I was like, okay, I remember this was the password. And then it said, we've sent you an email recovery. And I was showing the email recovery to Fraser and he was like, I don't know who the fuck is this guy? So then, what made it click was that I ended up going onto Apple Podcasts and I signed in and thank the Lord I had autofill this one time. Like I had autofill this one time and it showed me the email and it turns out I was typing the wrong email this entire time. So to the person who's constantly received requests on their phone to sign into a new account, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, we didn't mean to like fucking shit you up, make you scared. We were just trying our best. We were trying
our best to revive the podcast. And then what ended up happening as well was that we had to try and guess the password because apparently I chose a different password for the Google account. And you know what the most awkward thing was? We had no recovery email or recovery phones. And Google said that if you don't know your password, you're shit out of luck. Straight up.
Yeah, and Google is strict.
Google are very strict, yeah.
I was reading a story, it was like a Reddit post, and it was basically this guy who was like he owns his own business in the UK.
I think I've seen that as well.
Yeah. So it's basically his son, for some bizarre reason, went on Gemini, the AI chat, and turned his camera on, started pleasuring himself. And immediately Google realized this kid is underage. They banned the account, but then they banned all the family accounts attached to it.
Every single account on the family. Like it was a snowball effect because it started with that account, then it started with every account that's been signed in, and the kid didn't own up until like a week later when they realized, I think they said in a future post that their daughter's dissertation, their final dissertation was on their account and they can't access it anymore.
He's got mortgage payments that need to come and he can't access any of his business. He can't get in contact with his lawyers and stuff like that. He's like, everything was on Google. And I feel there's like a lesson to be learned there to have backups on other platforms.
On other platforms as well. Because the thing is, he was trying, I think it was on legal advice and they were trying to go, everyone in the comments were just saying, well,
everyone's like, you're fucked. Yeah, everyone's like, you're fucked. It's over.
Like, can do. It's kind of over because when like Google take this stuff really seriously, and then another person said, "I don't mean to alarm you, but if Google took down your account, that means the police are on their way because it is CSAM."
Oh yeah, like at the end of the day, like it's not really Google's fault. Like I get it. Like and if anything, again, you could go and respect like the fact that the system detected this kid is underage, get rid of immediately, nuke the whole thing.
Like Google knows what they're doing, but that's so rough. That is so rough on the parent because imagine just like your entire life is upended. What do you do to your son after that? That'll be a Viltrumite beat.
Yeah, honestly, that's an understatement, isn't it?
Yeah, but that was the struggle that we had to do to get back into the account. But now we're back into the account, and a lot of stuff has happened in the past.
We should introduce what this actually is, because there are going to be people, like, I imagine you've definitely got like people that have been around for a long time.
For a very long time,
I think I do too. But I think because this podcast wasn't like, it was like a very niche thing.
Very niche thing in 2019, yeah.
To explain what we were doing in 2019, me and Faf would go to the cinema a lot. We were like, well, we always talk about movies. Let's start a podcast
where we talked about movies, yes.
And we did about 10 to 15 episodes?
12 actually.
12.
I think we did 12. And ironically enough, the last episode, we called it We Survived the Joker. And I was like, what?
Yeah, and we fucking didn't.
We didn't, because we died for like 5 years. And it was like, it's so jarring watching those old. Apparently, a lot of my fans have been like rewatching the older ones, and they said it's really jarring seeing how hopeful we are for like the next year of like films.
Because that was like the ending of Endgame as well. We must have been like, they're gonna do X-Men, so much cool stuff,
and then everything just went to a standstill.
And that's why the podcast didn't end. It just came on up because we never officially were like, let's call this a day. We were like, we just like, everything was just so, it wasn't just like everything ended in 2020. It was also like when things activated again, everything was such a rush back to normal. And it was like, it was like, and then you just kind of like forget and lose priority of it. And it's like, but now like, I think we should say we're not just going to be talking, we're probably not going to be talking about the MCU unless Spider-Man comes
out. Oh my God, wait, so both of us, I think we've enunciated very clearly, we're tired of cape shit. For the most part.
I think you definitely more than me, but also me quite a lot. Like, I still go and see the movies. I have not watched a Marvel show, because we spoke about this like the other day. We were like, if anyone doesn't know who I am, I definitely think I'm more of like a normie. Like, in the sense of like,
I'm the more online one, yeah.
Yeah, we agree, and we thought that was a good dynamic. And it's like, I think I'm not as critical of these movies. Like, I came out, we were going through my letterbox, weren't we? And we saw that I gave Thunderbolts a 4-star. And even I was like, I don't think it's a 4-star.
4-star, really? I mean, it was good, but it wasn't that good. Was it really that good?
Yeah. And it's even like with the Mario movie, we were like, one of us is going to see it, and one's going to fucking hate it, and the other's probably going to like it.
Because the thing is, I said about the first movie, I was like, this is one of those movies that, I mean, I kind of waited until it was on streaming. And when I watched it, I was like, I appreciate the craftsmanship, but it wasn't a good movie.
I thought the animation was good.
It was
I didn't
gorgeous.
actually like the movie that much, but like the animation was really nice.
Yeah, Illumination do a really good job with that.
Yeah, I think with these types of movies as well, I can respect, like, in an era, like we spoke about AI and stuff before, and generative AI. For context, me and Faf met up for the first time in like 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years.
And this episode is going to be a bit all over the place because this is meant to be a catch-up episode.
Yeah, it's pretty much like we are back. We're going to just tell you everything that's been going on.
Yeah, but with the Illumination movies and the Minions movies, Despicable Me, like I can respect, like they bring a lot of money to films and cinemas, and like I think that's really good in an era where cinema is not as big. Like when we were doing the Coffee Cup in 2019, cinema was
booming. It was
Captain Marvel made $1 billion. Captain Marvel made $1 billion.
$1 billion, and then it's been so long that like we've witnessed like basically the fall of the MCU. It's not completely dead, but we've witnessed like the peak. They peaked so hard with the year of Endgame. Like we were watching our first episode was about Captain Marvel, and it was the build up towards Endgame.
We went to the BFI IMAX to watch Captain Marvel. That's crazy.
We could never dream of doing that nowadays.
The only time I've gone to the BFI IMAX since is Oppenheimer and Dune Part 2, and then maybe Dune Part 1. I can't remember.
For me, it was Sinners.
See, I didn't see Sinners in cinema. I told you that. I saw the first time I saw Sinners was this year. Very good movie.
It's a good movie, but yeah.
What did you think about the Oscars? Did you think it deserved it?
Oh my God! We need to do a dedicated Oscars episode for sure, because I was watching that intently because I really like One Battle After Another. I really, really like that movie, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be
DiCaprio.
It's a DiCaprio one, Paul Thomas Anderson and everything.
Yeah.
I watched it because I wasn't able to watch it in cinemas, even though I really wanted to. So when it came onto streaming, I watched it. I got it. Like, I fully get it. Everyone was gassing it up, saying it was one of the best movies they've ever seen, and I was like, yeah, I get it. I understand exactly why. But that's like the beauty of it, because It's so weird. Do you remember the Oscar winners in like 2020? Do you remember like any major movie or event in like lockdown? That's the
only movie I
part.
remember is Tenet. That's the only one I remember.
That's crazy.
That's the first movie I saw after the lockdown. I saw it in 2020 because Nolan was kicking up a big storm. He was
about
like,
it, yeah.
and
then Warner Bros were like, no. And then Warner Bros were like, okay, we'll do it, but we'll drop on HBO Max the same day.
Bro. My two movies that I came out of lockdown for was Tenet and fucking, what was that one Marvel movie that everyone, it was the first one that stunk it up. Like, everyone did not like it. It was the group one, the Eternals.
Eternals.
Oh.
What people?
That and Tenet back to, I like Tenet. I can't rewatch it. I like the idea of it more than the film itself. Like when I first saw Tenet, I was like, you didn't like it. I remember you hated the sound. Everyone hates
the sound design.
Yeah, whereas I liked it because it was like a bit of a mess. But I think it's also, was it Denzel Washington?
It's just John David Washington. Yeah.
His son.
His son. So yeah.
Yeah. So him and Robert Pattinson, I really like those guys, and I think it might have been a part of like there's a lot of cool actors in this.
Yeah.
And the plot.
Yeah.
When I tried to rewatch it, I was like, I was trying to show it to my girlfriend, and I was like, this actually is a bit more of a mess than I originally thought.
It's a bit corny.
We stopped watching. Like I was like, it's not worth 3 hours of my time. On that day.
I think on that day specifically, because with Tenet, I think I rolled my eyes towards the end when he just goes like, "I'm the protagonist," and the character's name is literally the protagonist, and I was like, Nolan, man, I love you, dude, but really?
Yeah, I think he started sniffing his farts a bit too much. You know
but then he locked the fuck in for Oppenheimer.
He did.
He locked in so hard. That I watched Oppenheimer at the Odeon Lux in Leicester Square. I'm not gonna lie, I legitimately best experience watching a movie. I was gripped the entire way through. That Trinity test, my heart rate was increasing when the countdown was going down. It was. I think that might be the perfect scene.
That book was so good. That film was so good that I bought the book that it was based on and read it. And that book
Prometheus.
That book is like a long read. Not because it's like long in pages, but it's like a very descriptive and detailed book.
Detailed thing. Yeah, I think it's just kind of, there's so much stuff that has happened. Like, it's like a pre-COVID era and a post-COVID era. It's so weird because technically this is the first podcast we're doing in a post-COVID era. Especially with like filmmaking, because like back then we were talking about how cinemas were booming and all that kind of stuff. We had loads of people going to the cinemas, and even then they were like, well, maybe cinemas could end up dying soon because more and more people are making more choices about what movies to watch. It was like COVID came in and forced every studio to be like, shit, what do we do? Like, what do we do now? And it's so weird because now we have like less risks being taken in cinema because of COVID and the fact that 1 million streaming services were made. Like, out of interest, how many streaming services are you subscribed to?
Okay, let's go from Netflix.
Yep.
I unsubscribed from Disney Plus. That's the first time I've ever unsubbed from a streaming service. I was like, this shit is ass, and I don't use it. And I was like, and then they rose the prices, and I was like, I actually do use Netflix. Like, I do watch, like, they put... Like, one thing I've noticed of Netflix in the last 4 years, I don't know if this was, like, a strategy because they lost loads of money during... Well, they didn't lose any money.
They didn't lose any money. They made Netflix make so much money.
Yeah. So, but I've noticed they've kind of gone back to an old strategy of actually putting, like, movies that aren't from them. I know they've always done that, but it seems that they put a lot more, like, third-party stuff on there.
Yes,
so I'll keep Netflix because, like... They'll have some random shit on there. Like they threw like 2 seasons of some random Gordon Ramsay show on there the other day, and I sat through and watched. I watched that stuff. And they had a Gordon Ramsay documentary. I'm a big Gordon Ramsay fan. They have good documentaries on there. Paramount Plus I subscribe to for South Park. I should get rid of it. I should.
Jesus.
I'm gonna get HBO Max.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie. So the streaming services that I have, it was just Netflix. A lot of them is as a result of me sharing with my family. I know it's blasphemous, right? It's sacrilege to share your account with your family. But like, I have like Netflix. I had Prime Video, but the only reason why is because I have Amazon Prime.
I've got that as well. Yeah.
I have HBO. So when HBO Max launched in the UK, like just for context here, HBO Max was never in the UK. It was like a US and other countries thing because of Sky.
Oh, that's what I was about to show you. Yeah. I'm one of the only people that still pay for this baby. You can't really see it right now. It's a Skybox. For Americans,
Skybox,
This is satellite TV in the UK, and it's so. I have Sky Movies, Sky TV,
my God.
Sky Film,
Sky Sports.
like Nature, Sky Sports, everything.
Jeez.
I've got the whole. And the reason I still have it is because in 2020, when COVID started, they weren't making any money because people weren't subscribing because there was no sports and stuff like that. And they gave me a deal, and it was like, you get all of this for like a certain price. And I was like, you know what? I'm a big football fan. I'm a big sports fan.
That makes sense.
I was like, I'll get it. And my deal is better than a lot of other people's deal.
Yeah.
And I opened up the app, and I'm in like some like membership thing of where it's like, you're one of our our highest tier members because you've been part of us for like 7 years straight without any cancellations. So I get access to like airport lounges with it now. So that's pretty cool.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think with but with the streaming services and all like the TV and everything, it was so weird because with HBO, so HBO had a deal with Sky, I think back in 2011, 2010.
When Game of Thrones was coming out.
When it was first coming out, because we had a channel in the UK called Sky Atlantic, which was basically all of HBO's imports go onto that channel. And since then, since the contract lasted a really, really long time, if you wanted to watch HBO in the UK, you had to struggle with Sky Atlantic or have Now TV. Now TV is, I'm not gonna lie, Now TV is horrific. For those of you in the UK who have Now TV, I'm really, really sorry. But like, let's what we compare it to in the US, like Xfinity,
shit, bro.
It's really bad. Like it doesn't work. It doesn't work most of the time. It's overpriced, and then the actual video player is so low quality. I remember Now TV for a time was the only place you could watch all the Harry Potter movies. Like, it was the only place it was, and it was so terrible to like watch. It was like really, especially when you got to like Half-Blood Prince, where everything is really dark and murky. Like the
darkest movie of all time, by the way. Like those movies are so dark.
Yeah, but it's like when you get to that, you watch that on Now TV, it's just blocks on your screen. It's just blocks. Yeah. So like the deal recently like ended, and as a result, HBO Max launched in the UK, and I decided, because I know my parents are probably gonna want to use it, I signed up for HBO Max's free trial for about a month. And I'm not going to lie, I felt like personally, I have other ways of watching stuff, but for the sake of like my parents and everything, when I looked into HBO Max in the app, there is such thing as being like drunk on choice, right? Have you ever been like paralyzed?
Yeah, like we said this, didn't we? Like it's literally like well, I can compare it to a video game that I've been playing recently, Pokemon Pocopia. Yeah. That game, I was like, okay, I'm gonna play some cute Animal Crossing game. I did not know how big a game like that could be. Like I wasn't expecting, bro. It's fucking gigantic and it's overwhelming. It's like
you're paralyzed.
Yeah. And sometimes you just switch it off because you're like, I can't. It's like it almost feels like it's at work. And so I can't do that. Because you look at it, it's like with me going onto like Blender and stuff. I'll probably mention that once we get into like what we've been doing in lockdown, like in the past 5 years. But like when I open Blender and I have a bunch of add-ons that I bought from like the asset store, and I'm like, I'm so paralyzed, I don't know where to even start. That was me with HBO Max. I was like, oh my God, where has this service been? Because I've been abroad a lot, but like, I think when you go and see these streaming services, especially HBO Max, and you wonder, we've been suffering in the UK for so long with so much shit because HBO Max is so much stuff. It's so good. Like, it sounds like we're shills and everything, but I'm not joking. Like, HBO as a service, it has all of HBO's programming. So you've got Sopranos, you've got The Wire, you've got Game of Thrones, you've got Barry, and then you've got like, you've got Succession.
You've got all of this, and then you've also got like the Max Originals, you've got Cartoon Network stuff, you've got so many things on HBO Max. Then you realize, how do these services lose money? This should be on paper.
Yeah.
On paper.
Well, it's because they spend $1 billion a season on Harry Potter. That's how. Yeah. Like that shit is fucking crazy.
Over streaming. That's a good topic to get on later on. But I think the biggest thing we probably should do, like, let's strip it all the way back. We probably should let the audience know what the hell have we been doing in this past 6 years.
Let me just finish on what we were saying this is actually going to be, because we kind of cut off that.
But that's the point.
Yeah, so this podcast, was about movies. It still is also about movies, but we're going to be talking about gaming, TV, entertainment news, in general, and news. Yeah, like we're going to have like we want there to be like episodes which you can come back to, but we're also going to be like throwing in like I really wanted to talk about the DLSS stuff. That came out recently.
We'll get into that. We definitely there are so many, because it's been so long. We're going to have lots of extended episodes, especially to begin with, because there's so much we need to explain, and that's been happening. Yeah,
I know we said no Marvel, but I would love a whole episode about the downfall of Marvel.
Oh, that would be a good one. Yeah, but yeah, so this podcast is basically just current affairs in film, video games, and entertainment and everything. And we do have a rule: unless it requires us to talk about it, no politics.
Oh yeah.
Unless it absolutely requires us to talk about it, no politics here.
And I'm not abstaining from politics. It's just like, it's on my Instagram. You can go look there if you want to see my political
exactly.
views.
We're not abstaining from it. It's just more like
this is about we want people to come in for like not like a safe space, but like a place just to like I want to hear about games, movies, and TV.
Yeah, I want to vibe and everything. You don't want to talk about how bad the world is for like 2 hours straight.
Yeah, man, 100%. And when we did this originally in 2019, I was always into gaming, but I feel like that's a good way to get into like how we've like since the last 7 years. Like, I'm big into gaming now. Not like indie game, and like you're more into gaming than me for sure. But I actually play video games now. Whereas in 2019, I don't think I really was. I was playing FIFA, and like I play. I've always been a Sonic head because I'm mad autistic. Like I play like Sonic Adventure 2 repeat like 3 times a year, guaranteed.
Fair enough.
Like that. But like I would. Because of like things like ADHD and stuff like that, I used to struggle with like campaign games. Like, but I like this year, at Christmas, I was like, with my Legion Go 2, which is like a big fucking Steam Deck, pretty much. I was like, I'm gonna play Skyrim for the first ever time. I've never played Skyrim.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
I played 100 hours of it, and my opinion coming out of it was like, people are way too hateful over this game.
It's really good. Yeah, that's what I mean. There people are hateful over the game, but it's also like Skyrim in general. It's a magical experience for the first time if you've never played an Elder Scrolls game before. Because I knew a lot of people are like, oh, but it's not like Oblivion or everything. You have to realize, put yourself in the shoes of someone who just discovered it in 2011 when it came out.
Bro, I can't even imagine playing that in 2011 because that would blow my fucking shit off.
My mind.
But I remember going around with my friends and they were playing it and I didn't really get it, and it's probably because it wasn't me playing it. I was just kind of watching it. But like even in 2025 and 6, playing Skyrim for the first time, it was so cool because like the last thing I did basically, bar a few quests, was the main quest line. I fucking completed the Dragonborn DLC first and the Vampire DLC. I was like going up against bosses where I was like, I don't think I should be fighting bosses this hard in Skyrim. And I googled it and it was like, yeah, you're like in endgame. Like, why are you here?
Why are you here right now?
There was like bosses where I was like playing it like it's Elden Ring. I was like on Dark Souls. I was like watching their like movements and stuff like that.
And then dodging at the right time.
Yeah, learning how to cheese. I was like, where's the parry button, man? Like I was like looking for that shit. But I really enjoyed Skyrim. I was actually planning on making another channel where I do like maybe a 40-minute video just about like a first time experience of Skyrim in 2025.
Oh, nice. Like those kind of ones that like first time playing these well-known AAA games from back in the day. That's a good idea, to be fair.
Well, my friend started a book channel where he's been doing that, and he read Lord of the Rings for the first time, and that like did really well for him. And I think people are interested. Like when you've loved something for so long, it's like I find it fascinating when somebody makes a video and they're like, "I've played RuneScape for the first time in 2026." As a guy that's played RuneScape, my RuneScape account is 21 years old. I checked it, or 22 years old. I checked it the other day.
Older than some people are probably going to watch this.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. I've played that game since 2003. 2002.
Christ alive.
So like,
wow.
Yeah, long time, man. So like when I hear people are playing that for the first time, that game is crazy as well because that's more popular than it's ever been, and it's a 20+ year game. But
that longevity is insane.
Yeah, and I find it fascinating when someone new discovers it because I'm almost like, how the fuck have you not played this? But yeah.
Even on the side, but that's also what I've been doing as well. Because you mentioned you're getting more into this kind of games, but like you guys have probably definitely watched the videos on my channel. Ever since I started doing more of these bigger projects, I decided to like really get into recording and also just playing a bunch of AAA games. Like in the production of my Easter eggs video in 2021, I ended up playing a bunch of games for like the first time it's either in a while or ever. So BioShock 1. The first Bioshock game.
Never played Bioshock, but I heard good things.
I played Doom 2016. I also played, what else did I play? I played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I basically played like a bunch of these games that I was too young to get. You know what I mean? Like, when you're playing these games too early. I also replayed Max Payne and GTA San
Max
Andreas.
Payne original games are so sick, man.
It's so good to play them again. And the thing is that, because back then, when you play it, you don't really pay attention because you're kind of young, you see the game give you instructions. You don't really get the nuances or like the hidden stuff in the game. But because I was doing a video dedicated about finding like Easter eggs and everything, so I had to really digest the game and get into it. The first time playing some of these games again, much older than I was when I initially played them, it blew my mind. Like playing Bioshock for the first time like that completely blew my mind. It completely, I was like, holy shit, I get it. I actually get it now.
I've heard that Bioshock is like an amazing story. Like I always see people glaze it. Is that am I thinking of the right game?
Yeah, the first one is generous. So there's Bioshock 1, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock Infinite. All three of them.
Infinite sticks, right?
Yeah. Wait. So with Infinite, I think the issue is that Infinite is at the time, this is 2013 we're talking about, because you have to think about it in the lens of at the time. And I think people nowadays feel like Infinite is a bit on the nose and like kind of preachy about like a character morality. Because with Bioshock, a lot of the endings, and this is spoilers for Bioshock, I'm not going to spoil it heavily, but like Bioshock's plot is based on how much of a twat you are to like specific enemies that you face in the game.
Does it have a morality system though? Because I like morality systems.
It's a morality system, but the morality system is basically based on one thing that you do at the end of several like boss sequences in the game, and that's the morality thing. In the first game, it's more on the nose about, if you do, you probably shouldn't do this. I mean, it will benefit you, but if you do it, it's going to be really, really bad for you. But like Infinite is when I think Infinite was basically, we'll fast forward in a bit, but Infinite is essentially like the morality thing where it's like, the thing that you've been doing throughout the entire game, turns out you were not supposed to do that. The thing we specifically told you to do throughout the entire game, you weren't supposed to do that, and now you're a bad person because you went and listened to what we were doing. It was like Spec Ops: The Line. I also played that. I played that during lockdown as well, and that game focuses a lot on the morality of war. But it's like framed like a typical third-person shooter, like COD. COD in third person, pretty much, right? So the entire game, you're like shooting all of these, you're shooting all of these insurgents and everything, and then you realize, wait a minute, are we really supposed to be doing this? Is this something that we are supposed to be doing? Like, the game really beats you over the head with that kind of thing. And while I was playing it, I was like, I understand why, a lot of people nowadays are like, oh yeah, Bioshock Infinite's kind of preachy, because you know what game did that during lockdown that I did play a bit of? Last of Us Part 2.
Swear, really? No way. The Last of Us Part 2 gets fucking cooked.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I've never played The Last of Us, because honestly,
never.
No, dude.
Damn.
When The Last of Us came out, I didn't have a PlayStation. I had an Xbox.
Xbox. I was an Xbox person as well. My Last of Us experience at the time was watching the Rad Brad.
Really?
I just watched the Rad Brad's playthrough because I was too young for it. It was like 18 rated. It was 2013, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I know what happens in The Last of Us. I think everyone does. I've watched part of the show. I kind of fell off that, to be honest with you. I got a bit bored after episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know what happens, and I know it is story-wise meant to be very good. I know people nowadays people do this thing which they'll love something when it first comes out, and at least for 5 years it'll be seen as a cult classic, and then everyone will hate it. It's like when Everything Everywhere All at Once came out, everyone loved it, and everyone hates it. It's and I remember it's Cosmonaut.
Yeah, Marcus. It was Marcus. The
Letterboxd review was enjoy it until everyone on Twitter says it's bad, and it's that's the summary of every single. Even I didn't like. No, don't get me wrong. I liked Clair Obscur when it came out, but when I was playing it, I was like, I'm not getting this as much as everyone else is getting this. Yeah, story wise, great, but as an actual game, I was like,
yeah.
I know everyone's calling it AI slop now, but when I played it back then, I was like, I remember I was ranting to my friend. I was like, this is the most Unreal Engine ass looking game I've ever seen.
Oh my God, we got to get into that in a bit as well, because in the past 5 years, Unreal Engine 5's launch and its consequences has been a disaster for the game industry.
It's taken over my favorite franchise. Halo is now Unreal Engine. They're doing a whole remake.
Don't get me started on Halo. Don't get me started. During lockdown, what I got up to, I got good at it. Halo Infinite launched in lockdown, didn't it? 2021.
2021, right? December. Yeah.
December, I remember. So my experience during lockdown with that game was that I played Halo Infinite. I played the fuck out of it when it came out.
You still do play that game.
No, but wait. So I played the fuck out of it. But then about a month and a half in, there wasn't a single update from 343. There were so many problems in that game, and they didn't update it, and they abandoned the game for 8.5 months. 8.5 months of nothing. I fell off the game. I came back like a year, I think 2 years later. I came back 2 years later to the game because I was convinced by a friend of mine. I was convinced by both a VTuber friend called Porcelain Maid and a YouTuber you might know called Quite. We both played Halo Infinite as a group, and then we all played Halo Infinite as a group, and I was like, this game's not that bad now. Like, it's not that bad now because they finally got back into it. But still, that abandonment during lockdown. So many things happened during lockdown. Things, people were like getting laid off. There were like games getting abandoned, games getting launched and failed. It was so weird. It's like, it's such a weird time capsule of an era that it's hard to really summarize everything without just going for like 5 hours about stuff. So many things happened.
Yeah, and it was like an era as well where a lot of like the industry really thought to themselves like, this is good, the money coming in is going to remain forever. So you saw like Microsoft investing so much money into certain things, buying Activision for $70 billion.
Bethesda as well.
Yeah, Bethesda, like. But Sony buying Bungie, one of the weirdest acquisitions.
That is the weirdest acquisition ever.
And it's a complete failure.
I think the Activision one's probably the most jarring one because, man, do I have a story about that one. But the thing is, I think that was the time where all these companies were trying to expand as much as possible because everyone, I think this was the first time these companies were truly tested with regards to like their output, because suddenly no one's going to work. Suddenly no one's consuming. Every company had to adapt to being at home and being online. So you had Disney fast track their streaming service, you had like HBO launch and everything, and then you also had these gaming companies and everything. They were like, this is our chance. Because you had games that were released years prior, like Among Us, blow up during lockdown.
Yep.
Because the thing is, it's like in our last episode of the Coffee Club, between then and now, all of the stuff that we probably talked about then are just completely null and void because now it's just, it's all changed now. Like Joker, like I think we talked a lot about Joker in the last episode.
Did we like it?
Yeah, I think we did. I did. I thought we were.
I liked it I remember liking it when I saw it.
I was like, there were some problems, but we liked it. But do you know what's crazy? Since that,
everyone hates it now.
Everyone hates Joker. Not just that. I think the sequel made people's opinion on the first even worse.
But it was bad. Like, it's not even like a thing of people trying to be contrarian.
It was
actually
legitimately bad. Because notice back then, the whole Joker craze. Remember in 2019, we were all talking about the Joker craze in that episode. We were like, oh my God, clowns everywhere, people dressing up as Joker. We live in a society kind of thing. That was the biggest thing back then. Nowadays, you don't really see anyone just talk about the Joker even as a concept at all.
Yeah, I saw a tweet the other day and it was like, you don't see Joker memes anymore. And it's so true. Like, Joker peaked as in like cultural media in 2019, and like since then, like even in the Batman movie, I see people being like, for the Batman 2, please don't bring the Joker and do like anyone else.
That was the problem, because I remember that was one issue that they had with the Batman. And actually, funnily enough, remember we had the prediction. We said Robert Pattinson would be the best Batman in the previous episode, and that was 3 years before the movie came out. And I'm just like, we kind of cooked to that. We kind of cooked to that, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think the Batman is the best Batman movie. The Batman's like the best one. I think it's the best one. Straight up.
For me, it's honestly third for me.
Really?
I'm a big Batman Begins guy. I love that movie.
Fair enough. Fair news.
The Dark Knight is number one for me. I just love that movie. Although, I actually can't watch it at the moment because I've seen it too many times.
Oh, yeah. No,
so it's like, it's become one of those things now. But as the Batman Begins, if anyone hasn't watched that movie in a long time, I'd recommend going back and watching it, because I feel like it's kind of a slept-on movie. Yeah. I don't think it's better. Like, objectively, I think the Batman as a movie is the best out of all of them. Like, it is just the best. Visually,
the Robert Pattinson does a damn good job. I don't know, Robert Pattinson as like the Batman, like the vibes. I remember the opening 10 minutes when I instantly knew, because after the thing with the Riddler at the start of the movie, that narration, on Halloween night, and the aesthetic.
So cold.
I was in the cinema watching it, and I literally just I leaned forward. I was like, we're in good hands.
When he's like walking towards when he's like crashed because he's hit into fucking what's his name?
The Penguin.
Fight.
And he's upside down. Good. Oh my god! And that's the thing though. That's also the power of like lockdown. A lot of the stuff that we can now just talk about, like some of the takes that we did before lockdown and whether they aged well. Like that Robert Pattinson one, that aged really well.
Yeah, other ones I don't know, but like just finishing off there, that it's weird. I think Robert Pattinson is an unreal Batman, but we haven't seen him for 5 years, which is crazy. I really want to see him as like actual Bruce Wayne, because I still think the Dark Knight trilogy does Bruce Wayne the best.
Really?
I think but it's got the bias though of like, we've seen 3 movies, so he's had so much more screen time.
True.
I just don't think there was enough Bruce Wayne in the Batman.
Really? I actually thought the opposite. I thought that Bruce Wayne, I mean, because of Dark Knight, we've had a lot and everything, but like, I think with the Batman, that entire segment, especially like when the Riddler sends a letter to what's supposed to be Bruce Wayne, and it's an explosive letter, and you can see like he doesn't do the Batman voice all the time, he drops the voice and like he's driving back. I was like, that agency in his voice and everything, that was quintessential Bruce Wayne and everything. He drops the voice to go back to try and save Alfred, but it already happened.
I just really like the struggle that he goes through in like Batman, and even the Dark Knight Rises. I like the crawl and stuff like that, like all these sort of things. I think the music in all the movies is I think the Batman movies are quite underrated for their music.
Underrated?
Maybe not. Okay, maybe I'm just talking about the latest one. To be fair, I don't know.
I think Michael Giacchino did a good job, but I think I'm not gonna lie. I will say the Dark Knight is where it peaked at. Like Batman music, Dark Knight's where it peaked.
You can't really beat the GOAT.
You can't beat like James Newton Howard and Hans Zimmer. You cannot beat them both. Like that was legitimately. I actually recently added a new song from the soundtrack to my Spotify, right? And it's literally that scene where Two-Face is allegedly about to execute Gordon's son, and the soundtrack in that scene, especially that plus the dialogue when he tells Gordon to lie like he lied. I was like, oh man, dude, like that is, it's like every single time I even think about it, I'm like, shit, I might need to watch The Dark Knight again. Every single time a clip shows up on YouTube about it, fine, I'll watch the movie again.
Just the opening scene is so cold. Like the zoom, I can picture it in my mind. I've seen it that many times.
Yeah, the zoom into the
it pans in on the
mask. Yeah, and then
yeah.
And it's like, you and your friends are dead, and he just gets like shot. That entire sequence, I'm like, Nolan was in his bag. He was way in his bag and everything. It's back to like the original point. When Nolan locks in, he really delivers. Like he really delivers. That's why I'm excited for The Odyssey later this year.
Do you know what kind of confuses me about him though? In some of his films, the sound design is atrocious, but then you go and watch Dunkirk and you're like, what the fuck happened on that movie? Where it's like arguably some of the best sound design of all time. I remember seeing Dunkirk for the first time and be like, whoa, like, because the opening gunshots. Have you seen Dunkirk?
Yeah, I've seen Dunkirk. The gunshots scared the shit out of me when I watched it. And genuinely, I was like that, like, whoa, what the fuck?
That's my favorite war movie. I'm a big war movie guy because I'm not that 1917.
I was gonna say 1917 is my favorite.
Saving Private Ryan's good. Not as good as those two in my opinion. I think I love Dunkirk. It's not much of a story. It's more of like it's like a history documentary, really, about what happened in Dunkirk. And it's like, mate, that movie, the ending is such, when they're reading Churchill's speech, I got like goosebumps. It's such a good movie.
Not even just that. I think that and 1917 might be my best experience with like 1917. I cannot express it
together.
No, we did not, because 1917, I think that was lockdown, was it not?
Was it? I thought it was 2019. I swear it was 2019.
Was it?
Are you sure we didn't see that together? I saw that in the BFI.
I don't think we saw 1917. I don't think we saw it together. But wait, 1917 was 2019. Oh, it was in 2019. When was it in 2019? No, it released in 2020. No. January 2020 in the UK.
that's how we saw it, because that was before COVID, before COVID.
Yep.
That was like the first movie, because that Harley Quinn and the Sonic movie came out all in the same time. I remember that period.
And then March was when the lockdowns happened. That's when we were like, oh my God, this is real. Like, I remember.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were when they announced the lockdowns?
I was, I remember where I was a week before. I was in Spain, and then I remember I was in Manchester when, there's not many football fans watching this, but Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal manager, got COVID, and everyone was like, oh, fucking shit. And then Tom Hanks got COVID, and it was like, it was like end of the world. I remember reading Twitter as that. I can still the vivid memory of like there's not, usually in history with these sort of moments, there's like not a pinpoint moment of certain thing happening. But for me with COVID and lockdown, there was a day where I remember being on Twitter and everyone was like, oh my God, this is real. And
this is happening.
In the world. Yeah.
I remember that as well, because I remember on my Discord server, I remember just being like seeing all this thing, like someone was saying, oh no, we're going to be in lockdown. And I was so smug being like, well, it's not going to get that bad. We're probably going to continue.
I've got a bad story. All right.
Let's hear it.
So as I said, I was in Spain, and we have our holiday booked already. This is in like February. So COVID at this point is that's when I think that ship was in Italy, I think. And people were taking it seriously. There were like masks in the airport. And at that point, I'm not taking it seriously because I'm not experienced to that sort of thing.
None of us have.
So, but like, I'm on the plane with like three of my mates, and this is sound really bad in the context that everything happened. I'm fake coughing to piss everyone off who's with me. I'm like in mid-sentence, like choking, like obviously faking to like scare my friends and like make it really awkward for them. Because back then I thought you know how we've just had a crisis with like the there's like and when that happened I was like, okay, it's not going to be COVID, and like thankfully it wasn't.
Oh,
but like
God.
I every year there was a new thing. Like obviously,
Ebola, the swine flu, Ebola, and everything. I think before COVID it was Ebola because everyone was like, oh my God, it's spreading too much. But the thing is, COVID, I didn't take it serious. Well, I was like, okay, it's a bit worrying, but I think it will probably be under control. But when we actually went in lockdown, I was like, whoa. We're actually doing this? Because the thing is, I hadn't been affected by it because at the time I was actually taking a break from my uni because that was when my YouTube popped off.
Yeah.
So I took the gamble and I was like, let me just stream and make content during that time. And it really worked out, but at the same time it was very, very like, it was such a weird like time capsule where the world was just still. You're going outside, no cars, no buses. Because when I lived in a place where you could... Yeah, what?
Did you ever go to Central during it?
I did. Yeah. Ghost Town, literally opening scenes of 28 Days Later. Like it was literally that. Just imagine going, hello, is anyone there? It was so scary.
It was eerie, bro. I remember walking like you weren't. Well, you could go out by yourself and walk, but it was kind of like you recommended not to for like for a few weeks at least. Like right at the beginning, they were very strict and like.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need my walk. I'm going out. I'm not seeing anyone. I don't think that's really going to affect anyone. And I remember I fully walked in. That's quite a long walk from east to central.
Yeah, that's a very long walk.
Yeah, and I did it there and back, and I was like, everywhere was empty. It was like end of the world. Like it was scary. And the one thing I'm not like proud of myself, but like I'm like smug about, as I remember saying to people back then, everything will go back to normal. And I know technically in terms of prices and like maybe sensationalism in the news and stuff, things happen. Everyday day-to-day life has gone back to normal relatively.
Yeah, for the most parts, yeah.
We have changes here, like we have like things like work from home still remained and stuff like that. But like in general, life is very similar to what it was in 2019 now. Without
the recession, economically, we have to be honest, the economy completely obliterated. But for the most part, let's say you don't think about money and everything. For the most part, you wake up, you go to work and everything. You don't really see what it was like in COVID. Because back in COVID, I think a lot of people might have memory hold it. COVID, you had social distancing. For social distancing, you had to be 6 feet apart in the queue.
That's crazy.
Like, you had to be really far apart.
Toilet paper shortages.
Yeah, toilet paper shortages. You had to be home by 8 p.m. or else the Rozzers would get you.
I can't even remember that. I can't remember that.
They had the curfew. 8 p.m. or that is a potential fine.
That's crazy. I can't. I remember as well. I look back on it and cringe now. But I remember it was like the first week, and I saw people like down from where I used to live. You could see a park, and I saw people there, and I was like, "How fucking dare you!" And I recorded them and tweeted it. But now, 6 years later, I look back on it like, fuck me, I was schizophrenic. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really worrying. But yeah, no, back then I was like, I think the weirdest noise I ever heard was that when during the day and you just heard 2 cars just revving and then just bombing. Because I lived next to a high street, which was a really long road and everything. And what ended up happening was that a lot of people used that for drag racing.
Yeah, we had that in our area too. Like, there was like burn marks on the road and
straight
everything.
Up Fast and Furious shit because of COVID. And the thing is, the world was quiet for the most part. It forced celebrities to like be at home and go crazy.
To be fair though, 2020 was like when things like politically went insane. And do you remember some of the videos that celebrities released that year?
Oh my god, that Gal Gadot.
I was about to say the Gal Gadot video. What was that about? Was that about Black Lives Matter? I know we said we were going to be political.
It wasn't about any of that. It was just about support during COVID. It was just like a...
I thought it was a... No. There was another one of where it was like a load of actors and they were like, I take responsibility. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that one as well. But yeah, no, the thing during COVID was when celebrities were also saying, oh yeah, I cried at home in my $1 million mansion. I cried because I'm so lonely.
Yeah, that was a weird year. There was so much shit that happened. Like, there was an election that year too.
Yeah, that was the insurrection, but we're not going to talk about that. That was the insurrection.
That was 2021.
No, it was 2021, but it was still during lockdown.
Well, shit, yeah, I forgot how long it was.
It was still during lockdown.
But no, it's all the same era. It's all the same era.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
Point is though, is that and the I think the whole thing with celebrities during lockdown, I think that's the difference between pre and post COVID, because you notice in post COVID, celebrities are like, they've kind of... I don't know how to explain it.
I said there's only one movie star, and I think it's very obvious who that is. Who do you think I'm thinking of?
Tom Cruise.
Okay, two. Sorry, yeah, of course he is.
DiCaprio and Tom Cruise.
Free. Okay, I'm talking about. I'm more talking about like modern, like newer ones. To be fair, Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, I was about to say that. But the thing is, Timothy's been a thing since pre-COVID. But the thing is that in this era, right? It's so weird because all these celebrities who were like, you know, the old guard, they kind of outed themselves as... I mean, everyone knew as the...
some of them were on a certain island as well, to be fair.
Yeah, but like, well, no, we knew a lot of them were weird, right? A lot of them were weird. But like, I think with the COVID and everyone just going crazy, like, do you remember that Vanessa Hudgens video?
Oh, mate, that's one of the best videos of all time. That's so good.
Some of you may die, but...
Do you know what's hilarious, though? What's hilarious is that's basically what world governments went with a year later. They were like, oh, to be fair, people are just going to die. Let's get on with this.
Literally, the Lord Farquaad thing was like, well, some of you may die, but that's a risk that I'm willing to take.
Fucking mental. Some celebrities just lost their heads, man. It was like crazy.
I genuinely think 2020, the biggest head loss in the world has ever seen. Like, the world has never seen.
Some shit that year was so funny. And there was a lot of tragedy, but like looking back, 2020 was like one of the weirdest years ever.
Because we had Zoom.
Oh, Zoom, man. They were making money.
They're not even just that. They had like, that was the explosion of TikTok. Remember, TikTok was kind of just this newish thing. You know what's crazy?
I got TikTok in 2019.
Same. I was signed up into it as well. And I was like, I don't get this, but maybe. And then I think if I could go back to my 19-year-old self, I'd tell them, fucking use it. Get on to TikTok, use it, because it's so weird. Since the last episode and this episode, TikTok is ubiquitous. It's literally, YouTube has changed as a result of TikTok existing.
Yeah.
Shorts were never a thing. When we dropped Coffee Club, there were no shorts. There were no reels. The TikToks were still people lip syncing to music.
And there's a whole, like, I'd say YouTube has got a million times bigger. Back when we did YouTube in 2019, in terms of like, I do commentary, I feel there were like 10 commentary YouTubers in 2019. Now there's 1,000. And like with gaming YouTubers, there's millions. There's film YouTubers. There's just too many. There's so many of them.
Theory bait, like video essays, it's crazy how many there are nowadays. Also, my Siri just went off when I said that. Shut up, Siri.
I didn't hear it, to be fair, but no, like it's crazy. Like social media, for us, it was great because it like brought so many people onto socials. And as you said earlier, it was good for like film companies, video game companies. Like if there was any game company that cooked in COVID, it was Nintendo when he released fucking Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal same day release. I remember that was the first example of like simultaneous releases of juxtaposing genres that everyone was like, this could work, because the logical end game for that was Barbenheimer, and we are never going to get something like that ever again. Never.
People were like, are they going to do
Doomsday?
But they're actually looking to move eventually.
Marvel is actually playing chicken. I'm like, oh shit, dude. But the thing is that let me rephrase that. I don't think something like Barbenheimer will exist for a very long time. Not ever again, because people forget, before Barbenheimer, we did have the Doom Eternal Animal Crossing thing. But then again, that was helped by lockdown. Doom Eternal being this really acclaimed, ultra-violent sequel, releasing exactly the same day as an Animal Crossing game. That was like, I think we could eventually have that, but the problem is, now studios are aware of the phenomenon. They're going to try and do it. It's weird.
Another problem with it is, especially with Avengers and Dune, you're going to have every major blockbuster trying to be on the same day as another one for that, whether they plan it or not. But the issue is, a lot of these blockbusters, the reason that it's being moved now, Avengers, is all in IMAX. And Barbie was perfect because it wasn't an IMAX movie.
Yeah, so Oppenheimer was the IMAX movie,
and it was like a perfect palate cleanser for a lot of people. Like, you could go watch... I saw Oppenheimer and I saw Barbie straight after. And I thought it was... You saw such a powerful, like imposing movie like Oppenheimer, and then you go and cleanse your palate by watching a fun movie.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The thing with Oppenheimer and Barbie at the time, and the same thing with like Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing, it's counter programming because it's not the same fans, but they get Doom fans will go to Animal Crossing and be like, this is an interesting kind of concept. Let's go try out Animal Crossing. Well, not every Animal Crossing fan, but like a lot of people are online to see Animal Crossing. They're like, oh my god, let's try Doom, and it helped that they were both good games. They were both amazing games. Like, I have my takes about Doom Eternal, but it's a good game. Like, it's an objectively good game. Same thing with Barbie and Oppenheimer. Two different genres with two acclaimed directors making their movies. And the funny part about that whole Barbenheimer thing was that, did you know that it was actually something petty from Warner Bros? They were trying to kill Oppenheimer. Like, in terms of the movie. Yeah.
Because of Nolan?
Yeah, because of Nolan. I remember there's an article about this. I don't know, we might have to take this as hearsay, but the story is really interesting. So it starts with the Tenet thing from before. So when Nolan finished Tenet, he wanted it in cinemas. He wanted the cinematic experience with Tenet. And Warner Bros. Were like, but it's locked down. We want the movie to make money. But it's locked down. No one's going. And Nolan was like, you better release that damn movie in cinemas and everything. And Warner Bros. Were like, okay then. But then they turned around like a few, I think, months later and were like, every movie we're dropping in cinemas, we're dropping on HBO Max the same day. They did not inform the directors because this happened with this movie. It happened with The Matrix 4. It happened with another movie I'm trying to remember. It happened with a lot of...
The Matrix 4, I forgot that even happened.
So basically, that entire year, a lot of creators were on that fuck Warner Bros. Thing because of the fact that Warner Bros. Turned around and did that because they were like, I mean, on paper, that's a decent idea. Like, I mean, it's an all right idea. People aren't going to the cinemas. They have to be at home. But we can't delay these things. We need to make money. That's why we'll put it on a streaming service. Because Disney had the idea, but Disney fucked up. Because remember the thing with Black Widow? Black Widow and Mulan were like, the live action Mulan were both going to be in cinemas, but then Disney turned around and were like, we're dropping them on Disney Plus without informing the actors, and we're going to make people pay a premium on Disney Plus to watch those movies. Scarlett Johansson got pissed. That's why, you know, the relationship between her and Disney deteriorated. So with HBO Max, that the relationship between Nolan and Warner Bros. Deteriorated. Now remember, Warner Bros. Had been sticking with Nolan since like frame one, day one. Every single one of their projects, and the projects that his brother was doing, because Jonathan Nolan did Westworld with HBO and also wrote a lot of Christopher Nolan's movies. So imagine Warner Bros. Knew they fumbled. Nolan was like, hey, fuck you guys, I'm going. And now he was free with like other studios. Other studios wanted him. And Universal got him. Like, Universal were like, we'll give you everything you want. You want 60-day exclusivity window through your film for most of the screens, we'll give you that. You want IMAX everywhere, we'll give you that. You want complete and utter creative control and a blank check on every single one of your movies, we'll give you that. And Nolan was like, yeah, we'll take it. And Nolan was like, hey, my next movie is Oppenheimer. And you know what? The thing about Nolan that a lot of people don't, a lot of people might not know about is that Nolan is very good at delivering movies on time and on budget. Like, he's very good at delivering movies on time. He has a meticulous plan. He has a meticulous plan where he gets the movie and he finishes it by the time the movie's supposed to come out. So Oppenheimer's release date was decided on and teased a full, was it like a year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah,
remember that countdown?
The Odyssey's first teaser, I believe, came like a year after Oppenheimer. It was very soon.
It was very soon, but the point is, because it was Oppenheimer's teaser. I remember because Universal had that countdown thing going in front of a lot of their movies, saying like, "Oh yeah, Oppenheimer's out in over a year." Warner Bros were like, "Hey, we have a Barbie movie," and they knew that Barbie with Greta Gerwig is going to do really, really well. So Warner Bros purposely moved the Barbie release date to be on the same day as Oppenheimer, thinking that most people will go and see Barbie instead. Barbie is more accessible. Oppenheimer is a 3-hour talking heads courtroom drama interspersed with it's just talking. There's no action. It's just a lot of really good actors, and they're all just, you know, I mean, it's a courtroom. Do you count as a courtroom drama? A lot of it took place in the courtroom, but like, I'd say it's just like
it's like a biopic and courtroom drama.
Yeah, biopic kind of thing. So like, that compared to Barbie being one of the most famous franchises ever, with Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie, with Greta Gerwig directing, who has Mark Ronson on the soundtrack, a bunch of singles. On paper, Barbie should have completely, absolutely obliterated Oppenheimer. But on paper, it should have just done that. And that's what Warner Bros. Are banking on. They were like, you know, they went on. I think internally they were probably like, yeah, don't fuck with us. Like, don't fuck with us, Nolan. And then I think the biggest thing is the way film Twitter and the way the film fans have changed pre to post COVID.
It's different. It is very fucking different,
they are more critical, cynical, and online. I've noticed that they more look into behind the scenes, like they know about directors. Like, you know, back then when you saw a movie, you were like, oh, it's a movie. I mean, it's like with MCU. When the MCU was out, there wasn't really many people talking about like, oh, is this director doing this director doing that? Oh, the Russos and stuff like that. So I think the only drama about directors was Edgar Wright and Ant-Man. That was the only thing where people were like wired into like, wasn't Edgar Wright supposed to make Ant-Man, or is this an Edgar Wright movie? I think it was that.
And Joss Whedon, and he got put onto the DC movie. What was it called?
Yeah, Justice League.
But that wasn't really drama. That was more of a tragedy.
And it was a tragedy, and also, I think Zack Snyder has a cult of personality regardless. I think with the MCU,
the fucking Snyder Cut has come out since we last recorded. Exactly. How mad is that? I forgot about that.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. It's like people back then weren't as wired into directors and like the people behind the movie. Like, even like I see people talk about cinematographers behind the movie, like, you know, Wally Pfister and stuff like that. And I'm like, we never got that in 2019. People were just like, this shot looks nice, or the Russos know how to do some action because they did Civil War and Winter Soldier. But I think that's the difference, because when it was announced that Barbie and Oppenheimer had the same release day, now you have people are like Greta Gerwig. People are now aware of Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach. I think I hope I pronounced his name right. But like they're now aware of, she's a good director. He's a really good writer. Margot Robbie starring as Barbie. Ryan Gosling's in this movie, and this is Ryan Gosling on a hot streak of like La La Land, Blade Runner, The Nice Guys, all that kind of stuff. So like, imagine all of that. That is a really good lineup. Then you had Oppenheimer. Nolan's on the movie with Cillian Murphy, Matt Damon, like literally every actor. I'm pretty sure the cast list. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Every actor, like every person. Looking at the cast list on Oppenheimer.
Even Josh Peck from Drake and Josh was in it. That's how many actors were in it.
Devin Bostick, like Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid was in this movie.
Yeah.
And fucking, who else was there? Who plays Huey in the Boys? Who plays Huey in the Boys?
Oh,
again?
I know who you mean. I don't know his name.
Jack Quaid. Yeah, Jack Quaid's in the movie. It's like, even Matt Damon's not even in the movie for that long. He had such a stacked cast of, like, Florence Pugh's in the movie, Emily Blunt's in the movie, but that's the point. Like, people were aware of that. People were aware of, like, the behind the scenes and everything. Like, oh my God, it's Nolan. Oh my God, it's Gerwig. Oh my God. These two concepts mesh so well together. People were, like, aware of it. Like, they were aware of the difference.
It's almost like directors have become the movie stars now.
Yeah, that's why because see what it's like. That's why Barbenheimer did so well. People were like wired into the behind the scenes, being like, this genre is different to this one, but it works good as counter programming. I think that's a good thing that's happened post COVID. It's monkey paw curling though. Yeah.
Look at Doctor Strange. Like, that was I wasn't like, Doctor Strange 2 isn't my favorite movie at all, but like they advertised that as Sam Raimi movie.
Like it's Sam Raimi, and you can see there was a lot of as in, I didn't like Doctor Strange 2. I really didn't like it, but there was a lot of Raimi-isms. When I watched it, I actually appreciated the Raimi-isms in that movie, because I was like, because people were like talking about, MCU don't give directors like free stuff to do what they want. There's only 2 directors where I can say that they gave them whatever they want to do, and that is Sam Raimi, because you can see the Raimi-isms, and Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler, he is in charge of the Black Panther franchise.
Yeah, he is that's what I low key on the lowest of keys. I do feel a little bit bad that I was so scathing to the Black Panther movie when I made that video in 2018.
With KSI?
Yeah, with KSI. But I was like, the thing is, my take was that I didn't think the movie was bad. I thought it was kind of overrated. For a movie to get an Oscar nomination for Best Picture, really? Think about it nowadays. It's been several years. We're now several years removed from this entire thing. Ryan Coogler, have you seen, like, we've just talked about Sinners at the start of this podcast. Sinners is Best Picture material. You can't look at me with a straight face and tell me that Black Panther's on that same level, even as other the MCU movies at the time.
Did Sinners win Best Picture?
No, it did not. Well, it was nominated, and it won Best Original Screenplay, but it didn't win Best Picture or Best Director because one battle after another won that. But that's the thing though, Sinners is so next level. Like, and Ryan Coogler was so wired in to he likes movies. I like Ryan Coogler movies, but I remember when I made that Black Panther video, I was like, God damn, dude. He's like, everything was better.
But did Ryan Coogler do Sinners?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. I actually that makes a lot of sense, but I didn't know
Coogler
that.
Is
he cooks.
Yeah, he's one of the most goated directors because he did Creed as well. He did the first Creed movie. That's how I knew he had the sauce.
That man has done a lot of work for what's his name's career.
Michael B. Jordan.
A lot of work.
They're good friends. Like, it was like a trifecta of him, Michael B. Jordan, and Ludwig Göransson.
Mate, Ludwig Göransson is such a good composer.
He is such a good composer, and he got his big break from being, I think it was roommates with Donald Glover, Childish Gambino.
He was in something. He's one of his. Was he Rogue One? Did he do Rogue One?
Yeah, he did. The Mandalorian. He did The Mandalorian.
That's
The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He did The Mandalorian, but that wasn't his big break. His big break before that was producing for Childish Gambino. He produced most of his albums, like Camp. He produced Redbone. He produced 3005. Ludwig Göransson's got a very prolific and decorated career at such a young age.
Black Panther, Oppenheimer, Sinners, Black Panther Forever, Creed 2. He did Venom. He did Tenet as well.
And the Tenet soundtrack's really bloody good.
He did Turning Red as well. Yeah, I think the Tenet soundtrack is actually what convinced me that it was a good film when I first saw it.
Yeah, I'm just like
he's doing the Odyssey.
And that's what I'm saying.
He's got 2 films coming out this year: The Mandalorian and Grogu, and The Odyssey. That'll be good music.
I mean, we good music, but yeah, that's the point though. People are aware of the count of like the programming. Like they're like, if someone's writing, they notice that one battle after another. People were like, yeah, DiCaprio's in it, but people were also more wired into the fact that it's Paul Thomas Anderson, dude. Like Paul Thomas Anderson's one of the best directors working right now. Like let's say, what celebrity directors were there? Tarantino, Nolan, Wes Anderson, maybe.
Oh, Wes Anderson, 100%. Yeah,
but like
Tarantino, fucking Scorsese, of course.
Yeah. So Tarantino, Scorsese, Anderson, Nolan. But apart from that, you didn't really have people really that wired in, unless it's like those directors. I don't think.
I think the Russos in 2019 had a lot of claim to their name.
But then again, people didn't really think of it as like, oh yeah, the Russos movie. They were just
they did do we mentioned just now Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Infinity War and Endgame back to back to back to back. Like even whatever you think of those movies, like critically and financially.
They did really well, but that's the problem. But I think that also raised a good problem where it was like, was it good because of them, or was it like in spite of them? Because their work they did without the committee and the resources of Disney, the work they've done since then is not been good. Like it's not been good. Like the Electric State was kind of shit. Kind of shit.
That seems like the first ever AI generated movie. I can't lie.
Kind of shit is putting it really nicely, and that's the thing. It's like now that Disney got desperate and everything, because again, this goes back all the way to the original point about us not watching like Marvel as much. There is one Marvel TV series that I've watched recently that I found interesting because my friend recommended it to me, and it was Wonder Man. And hear me out here. I actually really like Destin Daniel Cretton's movies. Because he did Shang-Chi, right? And Shang-Chi was like...
Spider-Man.
And he's doing Spider-Man. He did Wonder Man. And the thing is, I would have much rather... Here's my hot take of the podcast. I would have much rather have seen him handle his Avengers movies than what the Russos are doing with Doomsday. That is my take.
I can see that, especially from like an original cinema perspective. Like I think it would probably be better. And I think he's really good at action. I know... I think, like, I get why they've gone down the direction they have, as much as it is kind of soulless.
It is desperation, because it will make money. So all the people that were saying, it's not going to flop. It's not. It won't do as well as Infinity War and Endgame, but a flop it will not be. It will never be. I think
1.5 billion. 1.5 billion.
I think 1.7, if it is true that they really brought everyone, including the Sony guys.
I'd say spoiler alert here, mute for the next minute. But 1, 2, 3, okay. If they really do open the film up with Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman fighting each other and all the X-Men are there.
And doing all of that.
It's going to make a lot of money.
It's going to make a lot of money.
Talking about cape shit, we've done it. Fuck's sake.
No. But that's the thing that we had to, because that's the original point about programming and directors and everything. Because I think back then we didn't have many celebrity directors. Nowadays people are wired into like, oh, this guy is doing the cinematography. Like recently, I don't know whether you've seen this, but so many people are really angry because Greg Fraser is not doing the cinematography for the Batman Part 2 and Dune Part 3. He's not doing it.
They changed the cinematographer.
They changed the cinematographer because Greg Fraser is instead working on the 4 Beatles biopics that Sam Mendes is doing.
Oh, why? Yeah. Come on. Who the fuck cares about the Beatles, bro? Who the fuck listens to the Beatles? I don't get it.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, bro, but I can't. Like, the Beatles are just one band. Look, they've got a few good tracks.
I really, no, but the thing is, you really had, none of us were, but you had to be there. If you read and you watch about the thing, you really had to be there.
But Queen are better, and
but they're revolutionary. That's the thing. You had to be there. Like, I think that's the problem though, because Greg Fraser's still doing the. Honestly, I don't know how the fuck they're gonna pull this off. Sam Mendes is working 4 biopics. It's like a 4-part movie with all the members of the Beatles having their own full movie in cinemas. They're doing it like
they're doing the Avengers, but for the Beatles.
For the Beatles.
I'm wearing a Liverpool shirt right now, so and I'm cooking the Beatles. That's not a good look.
That's sacrilege.
Yeah, I just maybe it's just not my thing. Like I like a lot of classic artists, you know. Like I love Queen. I was gonna say something scary now. I was gonna say I love Michael Jackson because he technically is a classic artist now.
I must say it. Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't think there's any shame in it. His music is generationally good, which I was going to get onto that point about biopics. Actually, I was gonna get onto that point real quick, but like when it was announced that Greg Fraser was doing that instead, people were mad. But the thing is, Sam Mendes is a good director. He did Skyfall. I mean, he kind of flopped with Spectre, but he did 1917. That's the like.
Spectre was kind of like in a really unfortunate position. It was I'm not defending the movie. I'm saying it was in an unfortunate position.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, we don't even get any started about No Time to Die, but like, it's like.
Wait, sorry, am I getting them mixed up? Which one was the last one that came out?
No Time to Die.
Yeah, I think that movie was in an unfortunate position.
That one was unfortunate.
Sorry, I'm getting mixed up.
Spectre was the one afterwards. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, is Sam Mendes washed?" People were generally wondering, "Is my goat washed?"
Maybe I haven't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting it mixed up. The one that Bond... That one, I'm thinking of. That's No Time to Die, right?
Yeah, No Time to Die. I'm just like, spoilers for No Time to Die, but it's kind of crazy. Like, okay, 3, 2, 1. It's kind of crazy for a film. Yeah. for a film called No Time to Die, and he died. I do find it funny. They did the Monty Python bit. I think it was a Monty Python bit, but like they did the bit where it was like, oh yeah. Do you know what time it is? No, time to die. They did that in the movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I think all the dads around the world were fuming at James Bond died, bro. That's a fucking.
It was a straight up 9/11. It was a straight up
9/11.
It was literally 9/11 for these because I was like, oh my! I wasn't expecting it, to be fair, and I think that's the reason why Danny Boyle skipped on the movie. Remember, remember that movie had production hell for so much because Danny Boyle was initially going to direct it because he's good at directing Bond. He directed Bond in the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. He knows how to do that. He knows how to do that shit.
Don't those Olympic game openers, bro.
Oh yeah, no. Like he directed the whole opening ceremony, but he also directed the Bond segment to himself. And I was like, yeah, no, Danny Boyle's a good choice, but then he flaked. He could
do the next one.
No, he's not doing the next one, remember? It's Denis Villeneuve.
Is it?
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve is doing... He's doing it after Dune.
No way.
He's doing it after Dune. Now, yeah, his next movie after Dune Part 3 is Bond.
That is mental. I didn't know that.
I was like, that was one thing I was gonna mention, like towards like celebrity directors. People know about Denis Villeneuve because of his streak of good movies: Sicario, Arrival, Blade Runner, Dune.
I'm so happy that such a big director's doing a British movie. Bro, where are we going to be on the map for the first time in years again?
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. The reason why is because the Broccolis quit the franchise and gave it in its entirety to Amazon.
I saw that.
So that's why we were worried because initially, like, I think it was Amazon that was suggesting, let's do a Moneypenny spin-off. And that's when we were like, oh shit, Jeff Bezos is going to ruin it. But the fact that their first line of action was Denis Villeneuve's doing the next movie, I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
That is, like, they know what they're doing. But again, celebrity directors, people know that. Before, people would be like, oh, Denis Villeneuve, what did he do? Oh, he did these good movies, that's good. But people now hear the name Villeneuve and they're like, we are in good hands. Yeah. The same thing, Matt Reeves, the Batman. He did Cloverfield, Planet of the Apes.
And then when it's like, great movie. Love Cloverfield.
Yeah, and then he did like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes. And he has, like, people know Matt Reeves.
I've never seen the Apes films. I've never seen them. I know. Apparently it's like one of the best trilogies, right?
It's one of the best trilogies ever made. It is one of the best trilogies ever made. I'm not joking. And it's the same thing with the upcoming A Legend of Zelda live action movie. Everyone is scared shitless because they saw the team behind it. No. I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Cook. I want them to.
Listen, produced by Avi Arad. He produced the.
I know who Avi Arad is. He's fucking Satan of Spider-Man.
He's the Satan of a lot of things, and also the only thing I have faith in is the director, because the director, people knew the director. He made Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is the latest one, and he made the Maze Runner movies. He knows. Wes Ball knows his shit, so it's like he could do it, but the writer, that's what everyone's worried about. It is
Avi Arad's not writing it, surely.
No, Avi Arad's producing, but the writing team that Avi Arad has hired, it's not good. It is really not good. Everyone's like, this could be a stinker. It could
they're gonna bring in like all of the Zelda villains into one movie, like Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me just live action. For those of you guys who don't know, I mean, if you're wired into the movies and everything, but there is going to be a live action Legend of Zelda movie, and the writers are known for writing the following movies. You ready, Fraser? All right, let's. Jurassic World 2015.
No.
Monster Trucks 2016.
What the fuck is Monster Trucks?
It's a really bad movie. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Detective Pikachu, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker.
You're joking.
I'm not joking.
It's like all those other films maybe I could pass. The last one is like fucking nuclear bomb level shit. That is the most ass movie of all time. I've never come out of a cinema angry before until I saw that fucking movie. And it might have been it might have been due to the fact that I did a free movie back to back in the cinema. I saw Force Awakens. I saw Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and I was like, we're here after 6 hours. We're cooking, and I remember it was on the title crawl, and I turned to James Marriott and I said, I've got a bad feeling about this.
You saw the Dead Speaks and you were like,
yeah. And when it's Kylo Ren on Mustafar, I'm like,
man,
it could be okay. There's a Sith holocron there. Maybe I could. No. It was like my boy. I'm like, fucking shoot me. The entire movie, I hate. It's so bad. I'm a Star Wars guy. I know everything. I've read the books, the lore, the comic. I know everything about Star Wars. So that was my 9/11. That was like fucking, oh man, that was ground zero, like ended up, like COVID-19 began there for me. Just like lockdown for me. It's so bad, bro.
Yeah, so now you imagine, and then afterwards he did Jurassic World Dominion as well. So it was like,
I went to the premiere for that fucking movie, I'm pretty sure. I went to two, but I've been to 3 premieres in my life. Avengers Endgame, fair play.
Fair.
For Love and Thunder. And
my God.
Jurassic Dominion, and it was like, I mean, the only good thing about Thor is Natalie Portman and Taika Waititi were there. Maybe not I was just there for Natalie Portman, to be fair.
Taika Waititi probably just there with like a knife and just being like, I'm gonna kill him.
At that point, he was a loved guy. He did Thor 3, and he did Jojo Rabbit. Yeah.
So like he was on and also you have to remember that he was in part of What We Do in the Shadows as well. So everyone's like, this guy's good. But how do you murder your goodwill that hard? Like, it's actually, how do you make a movie? Because the thing is, from what I recall, the movie is just offensively bad enough to delete your goodwill from your previous movie.
You somehow had Christian Bale and made a bad movie. That's sacrilege. I can't think of many bad movies that he's in. Like, even
and
like average
them.
Movie. Yeah, and he did. He was the best part of the movie. It was funny though, because like whenever he was in it, it was like a black and white. There was that black and white scene, and that when they were making that, they were like, "Oh, they're gonna love this," and it was cool, but like it definitely wasn't as cool as they thought it was.
Yeah, no, that was oh my God, how do you waste it? But yeah, I've only been to 2. I've been invited to 2 premieres in my life. One of them was the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
That's a cook, man. I even know that movie's ass.
And then the other one is the 3 Body Problem, which was the Netflix series by D&D, the writers of Game of Thrones. The thing is, everyone's saying that 3 Body Problem was good as well. But the thing is, I've only been invited to those 2, which we're trying to get.
I've never been invited. I've been to Actually, no, I went to the Ahsoka premiere, and actually, those first 2 episodes were good. For me personally, I enjoyed them, and I like Ahsoka until the ending. Then it gets shit.
I'm not wired into any of that, but yeah, when I got invited to the FNAF movie, actually, funny story about that one. I do need to mention this. In the 5 years since that, I've been traveling a lot. I'm probably sure you've been traveling a lot, but I go to a lot of conventions, and I went to TwitchCon in I think at that time it was either San Diego or was Vegas. I think it was one of the 2. I think it might have been Vegas. But what I ended up having to do was that they invited me to the FNAF movie premiere, right? And you know what the problem was? I was in America the day it was going to premiere. I had to cancel my flight, and I had to leave 1 day early to get to the airport, and I never got refunded on the ticket because I cancelled it with refunds available. But the problem is I had to go there, and then I felt ill the day of the premiere. I had to wear a mask and everything while I was trying to stifle my coughs during the movie. I was so upset.
That's rough, man.
I was so upset because I was like, the thing is, the novelty of watching FNAF in live action, I was like, no, but I mean, it's not a good movie.
First one or second one?
First.
Oh, I get that though. Like, I get why people liked that movie as well, in the sense of like, it's definitely better than the second one.
Oh, no, don't get me started on second. I want to save that rant for another podcast because I will be ranting for 3 hours about it. I'm not going to lie. Swear to God, second movie, I liked it, but it was the most dog shit movie I've ever... I don't know why Blumhouse did that.
I hated both. I can't lie to you. I know nothing about FNAF other than your YouTube videos. Literally. I said to my girlfriend now, because she fucking loves the FNAF lore. She's probably watched your videos before, for all I know. She's every game theory, every video about it, man. She loves that shit. And she was hyped for it. She really enjoyed it. I hated it. I gave it. I think I gave it a 5-star in Letterboxd to appease her. But like, I'd honestly give it a 1-star. I know that sounds bad. I get why people like it. I just didn't like it. I don't know why I've always been spiteful because so many liked it. Sometimes I get that.
No. It is not. That movie is a 1-star. It is a 1-star. The Jim Henson Creature Shop carried. People wanted to see it because they wanted to see Matthew Lillard and the animatronics in live action with a budget. That is it. Because apart from that, it's kind of shit, dude.
They've got to bring Matthew Lillard back to Scooby-Doo, man. Like he played Shaggy, right?
Yeah, he did. And also he is in. Apparently, he's one of the best parts of Daredevil. He's in the new season.
He's a fucking good actor, though. That's the thing.
He's a very good actor. Yeah, he's a good actor.
I'm going to make a prediction. He's already a big actor, but I think he's going to get a big role in something. Like, there are certain actors. Another one who I spoke to about it recently was the Danish actor who plays, he's in Hannibal, the main guy.
Mads Mikkelsen.
I don't get how he's not had, like, a big movie. He's in a lot of things and a lot of big movies, but I'm talking, like, I'm surprised he's not like had like a main role in like a Nolan movie or something, because I think he's a fucking amazing actor.
I mean, he has I think. Do you not count Casino Royale as he was the villain in Casino Royale?
That's a long time ago, though. Man.
Doctor Strange and everything.
Yeah, but I don't count Doctor Strange. That's a comic book movie. Like, as much as it's a big movie, I'm talking like an Oppenheimer. I'm surprised he's not had.
You
one
mean
of those...
as a lead? But then again, he has had that level in his native country. I think. I think he's comfortable with where he is. I think that's the thing.
But I think he could be one of the great. He's one of those actors that I just always thought this guy has got. Like when they announced he was playing Grindelwald in Harry Potter,
I was about to mention that.
I was like, bro, you're bigger than that. Well, you don't need to do that. Do something else, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but to be fair, a Wizarding World role. I mean, it's still it's big money, but also, I mean, before Crimes of Grindelwald, it was prestigious.
Yeah. It was. And look, to be in Harry Potter, it's a role for life at the end of the day. Like, if they bring Grindelwald back in some way, I'm sure he'll play Grindelwald.
And also, I will say that's also a big commitment as well. I'm sure Mads has been in so many movies, so many TV shows. No commitment like that, man.
Can we just chat a sec about the Harry Potter TV show and the fact they've cast an 83-year-old as Dumbledore again?
Yeah,
he's going to die. He's going to die. John Lithgow, he's going to fucking die during that second season.
He's going to die. If J.K. Rowling's mole doesn't infect him first, he will die of old age.
I got cooked on TikTok. It's the only time I've ever been cooked on TikTok, because I made a TikTok saying... I've got a video all about how I don't like J.K. Rowling back in like 2020. I was early to that shit. But like, I didn't like J.K. Rowling when she made Dumbledore gay. Look, I'm a bisexual man. I can say that. I think it was fucking stupid because it didn't happen in the book. If it was in the book and it explicitly went into Grindelwald... Sorry.
Marcus said the best. You go.
Yeah, so, but like, I love Harry Potter. It's a shame what's happened with Satan. But I said on TikTok, I know... people are saying that show's gonna flop, and maybe it'll drop in viewers over time, but that first season is going to break records to like records that haven't been broken, in my opinion. It's gonna be the most viewed show. It's gonna be the most viewed opening episode ever, I think.
As much as people like to hate on it, and I know it's just very justified, people love Harry Potter, dude. Like, even like, that's the thing. People love Harry Potter because you know why? When Hogwarts Legacy came out, it's not a good game. It's not a good game. Everyone wants a crumb of Harry Potter.
It is Hogwarts Legacy. If there was like a video game representation of the word mid, it would be Hogwarts Legacy. That game is so fucking mid. It's like insane. I played like 20 hours of it.
But the thing is, it hits like crack for people who just want the Wizarding World.
Well, it's Hogwarts, so that's why people love. Like, I loved that first 2 hours of it. Like, I think I went into like CEX, so I got it like pre-owned, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. It was like £10, and I played it on my Switch too. And I was like, maybe I got it on Steam. I don't know. I played it on some platform, and I was like, it's all right, but I was like, it's not It's not that good, but the world, like everyone that's read you've read the books, you love the universe, and I get it. I didn't enjoy the game. I'm sure the second one will be better because, like, I mean, the fact there was no Quidditch was insane.
Like, that's the thing, though, because the thing is, J.K. Rowling might not, it's a bit of a hack fraudish kind of thing. And also, to your previous point about retcons, I think Cosmonaut Marcus once again said it best, where it was like, in that era where J.K. Rowling tried to, like, be, how do I say this without sounding weird, too woke. Like, when it was like, this character, like, there was a time, believe it or not, that J.K. Rowling actually tried to be really, really woke. And
well, this is what I find really. I saw a right winger the other day. They were like, J.K. Rowling's confusing because everyone on the right loves her, but the fact is she's only extremely hateful on one thing that we're hateful on. Everything else she's a massive liberal on. And like I don't know if that's true now, but like. She was a huge Tony Blairite. She was a left winger in that sense.
Yeah, I think not even just that. It was mainly just the stuff that she did in the story where people were asking on like Pottermore just being stuff like, oh yeah, so Dumbledore, like the Dumbledore was gay thing, and then like making Hermione black in the stage production of A Cursed Child. What else was there? The Jewish what was it called? The Jewish student at Hogwarts and everything responding to those tweets. People just Cosmonaut Marcus said it in his video the best, where it was like, you don't need to lie, like you don't need to like, she was trying to claim that she did this from frame one, but you don't gotta lie.
I find it really interesting. Sorry, actually, finish what you're saying.
No, I was gonna say, like, you don't need to lie about it. That's what Marcus kept saying, where it was like, you made a story that worked for the time. Some of it might not have aged well, but you own it. Like, own it.
And I don't know why more of us don't do that. Like, it's like, it's fine to own your piece of literature that you wrote in the 1990s. She was a middle-class white woman in a white neighborhood. Obviously, she's probably going to write, like, you're going to probably write a lot of your characters being white in the 90s in particular, because, like, it's not a representation, like back then, there wasn't, like, the rules that are, you know, I think in America it was a bit different, but in Britain it was like, I don't think anyone really cared that much.
It was like more like, because you know how much of a caricature Slytherin is, where it was like Slytherin is literally like the Hitler house.
Yeah. We've got Hitler, and we've got the Hitler kids, and we've and it was like she's even invented a slur. It was crazy. It was crazy.
It's legit. Like, everything was there. When you think about it at the time, you're like, what the fuck?
Honestly, though, like I grew up with Harry Potter. I think we all did. Like, I read those books so many fucking times.
Playing the games.
PS1 games, man.
Chamber of Secrets on the PS2 is one of the greatest games of all time. I cannot front.
There are some really good movie tie-in games. Toy Story 3 on the Xbox 360 is one of the greatest movie tie-in games of all time.
X-Men Origins Wolverine on the PS3.
Didn't play that.
That one's a very dog shit movie.
Do you remember the Lord of the Rings games?
Yes, I do, actually.
So good.
But that's the point. Again, to our original point about Hogwarts Legacy in general and Harry Potter, I am sorry, the Wizarding World is one of the most profitable franchises in history, and there's a reason people are hungry for that kind of stuff. If you like, as much as we hate it, as much as it's not exactly something we want to hear, Harry Potter on HBO will do very well. It will do very well.
And I'm saying when I say it'll probably drop, I'm more saying that to comfort people. I don't know if it's actually going to drop. I think it could get bigger because there's a new generation of kids coming through with their millennial parents who are like, "Oh, what's Harry Potter?"
They're like, it's Harry Potter. But then again, I think the problem is that it's too soon after the movies. I think a lot of people are being like, "Oh, but it's going to be more accurate to the books." No, sometimes omitting stuff from the books is a good thing. But like, I'm saying that with the TV series, right, it's not going to flop because people are just gagging for Harry Potter stuff. The only way it will flop is if it is unequivocally shit. If it's unequivocally, because remember, Crimes of Grindelwald, like Fantastic Beasts 1 was like, everyone was expecting that. Well, that was good. That was actually pretty good. And people were expecting that.
I like that movie. I don't even mind the second one. I know everyone hates it. I find Marcus's video on that very funny. I say Marcus like I know him, but Cosmonaut's video, like he did a video on it, and I completely agree with all the criticisms of that movie. I think it is just I like Harry Potter, so I'm not even trying to be unfair here. I love those movies. I've actually never watched the Dumbledore movie that they put for the first one.
I think the problem that I have with it is that I watched it and I was like, man, this is not what I came here for. I thought it was just gonna be like what's it called? What was it? Eddie Redmayne just like collecting wizard Pokemon. That's what I thought it was going to be. That's why the first movie was good. And then they tied it up in the first movie, so they had to make up excuses to bring them all back.
What's crazy is they could just make a video game that is Hogwarts Pokemon. They could do it, and they just haven't fucking done it. Like there could be a genuine thing if you go around the world and not just Hogwarts. You can go to Hogwarts as maybe a base, or so you're a teacher or something like that.
But that's the thing, though. It's like with Harry Potter. I think it's also like in good conscience. Like I don't like J.K. Rowling's politics, her takes on, like, I think that she's a horrible, horrible person, right? And I don't like how it's going directly into her pockets. I know this full well, but here's the issue that I have and the dilemma that I have is that when you grow up with something like Harry Potter, you grow up with that kind of whimsy. Like, trust me, I implore you, even if you don't like J.K. Rowling still, rewatch the first two Harry Potter movies. Trust me. If you were in the mood. If you are in the mood, like the proper mood to do, you just sit down, you like pop the kettle on, you have a fireplace going, dark room, just watch the Harry Potter movies with your mates. Like
Harry Potter 1 and 2. Great Christmas movies. Great Christmas.
Unironic, literally around the winter time, Christmas when it's cold, you like put the curtains down. I'm not going to lie to you guys. There is something unironically magical about the first two Harry Potter movies.
Christopher Columbus locked the fuck in, bro. He locked in those movies.
And he made sure the kid, and also the thing is like he accommodated all the kids and made sure like all of them felt welcomed. And the thing is they were in the presence of I think. This is my take about it, and one of the last things I'll say about the Harry Potter thing is that I think Harry Potter, the reason why the HBO one will not be as good is that the first Harry, no, not just that, not just British actors, the best you can do in the business.
Literally like that era of 1990s, early 2000s had some of the first and original major British actors.
And not just that, Shakespearean legends doing stuff. But people from the Royal Shakespeare Company and stuff. Like, think about the cast just of the adults and everything, where you had like, was it Dame Maggie Smith?
Yeah, like you had Richard Harris. You had you had fucking what's his name? Who played Snape?
You had Alan Rickman.
There's a lot of people we should name them, but the names are falling off my head right now. But just think about
think about all the adults. It's like the adults are like the most seasoned, and then you had Gary Oldman come in with
Sirius
and everything, and that entire segment in the third movie of just the three that sequence. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're gassing up Harry Potter is gonna be like this is sacrilege to a lot of our fans, but like the third movie when Snape goes and confronts Sirius and Lupin for the first time,
can't replace that shit.
I don't think this TV show can replace that at all. Those two were acting their asses off.
This is where my hot take comes, because obviously weirdly enough, there's a bigger controversy than the transphobia stuff. Snape, everyone's going, oh, Snape's black now. I actually have a hot take about this. I think I may have said it to you the other day.
Yeah.
I don't think you can bring like look at Hagrid, right? Everyone is looking at what's his name playing Hagrid from the Cornetto movies. What's his name?
Nick Frost.
Nick Frost playing Hagrid. Everyone's saying Hagrid sounds weird in the trailer. He looks weird, and the only reason people are saying that is because we had an elite portrayal from an elite actor of Hagrid that you've been brought up with, and now with Snape. That was the most elite performance in the entire 8 movie. Yeah, everyone knows those movies for Snape. So like now
Alan Rickman is the standout. So when you have
if you have another guy come in with the long black hair, a white guy, obviously everyone knows Snape was described in the way he was. But like you're going to look at him as somebody cosplaying Alan Rickman, and this is the problem of doing a remake 15 years after the last movie. That's not a long period of time.
It's not a long period of time, and also the movies look fucking gorgeous. Like, you could release them now and you'd be like, this is cinema.
And they can't do what the 7 movies did in the sense of the first 2 movies were a lovely introduction, very happy and whimsy. Then the third one is cold because actually the universe is starting to get dark.
And then it gets worse from there.
Yeah, in the third one there's war coming. You can say like they literally and then the fourth one it's dark. They've got emo hair.
The first tragedy, the first actual tragedy, like the first full on casualty of
my favorite Harry Potter movie is, it's not everyone else's. It's definitely, I'm not trying to even be a hipster. It's
Deathly Hallows
Part 1. Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, I found my guy. Yeah. I love Deathly Hallows Part 1. I think watching that in cinemas, bro, I can't replace that, man.
When they're walking along and the radio's playing, it's so eerie. Like, I wish we got, like, if there's one thing I hope the show does, it's like, have, like, when it gets to the wartime of, like, that of Harry Potter, you've got to make it eerie. You've got to make it like an actual, like, what World War II would have been like, almost, but in a wizarding way. Like, because like it's like it makes it like cold and like that.
But that's if it lasts that long, because there's one underrated thing we never mentioned about the movies is that they consistently came out every year. They were consistent with it. It was every year, and also they even had the budget down and set, they had the soundtrack down and set, and the actors were like tied into that franchise, and it was consistent. This one, they already said it's going to be 2 years.
Yeah, 1.5 to 2 years. I mean,
that is.
That Dumbledore is dead. He's not surviving that shit, bro.
Not just that. The TV, like, this, the same thing happened with the Netflix Avatar: The Last Airbender series that is currently happening. I mean, how Aang looks now.
Yeah, I've seen it, bro. Well, I saw the second season, like the photos, and I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Why is there a grown man playing Aang? He's like 10.
That's so weird.
He's 13 at the ending of the actual show. Like, bro, he's like, and now by the ending of Avatar live action, that if there's another thing I know all about, it's Avatar. I've got if there was anything they were gonna do, they should have done movies or shows based on the comics that came after about Zuko's mom. There's more about Azula.
They should have.
But they went with the fucking. I mean, they're doing the movies.
but where's the money in that?
But isn't like. There's something with the movies that like, I was excited for the animated movie, and I'm pretty sure they've changed something. They're not being released in cinema.
Theatrical because of David. I'm gonna say unironically, we must save the Paramount stuff for the next episode. I want to dedicate an episode to the Paramount situation because there is a lot to go through. But the gist of it is that David Ellison was like, it's not worth putting this in theaters. We're putting it on Paramount Plus.
Fuck that guy. It is literally like one of the most loved. It's arguably the most loved animated thing on the planet, bar like One Piece and a few other anime. Like, obviously it's not anime, but like it's like Western animation. I think that's like
it is the best.
Yeah, like
it's the gold standard with the series and everything, and it ended. I think the finale is one of the most beloved episodes of all time.
I am so grateful for being old enough to experience the release on Nickelodeon of the Boiling Rock, the Southern Raiders, and the 4-part finale. Having a 4-part finale as a cartoon back in 2008 as well
was unheard of.
Insane. Like, and they released. It was like they had like preparation to get there, and like the build up and everything and hype season for it. Like that was the first to do that shit, man. Like it's so good,
generationally good.
And even The Legend of Korra, whilst it stumbles at points, season 2 is mid. I love Legend of Korra season 1, 3, and 4, and I think I'm glad they're also doing an actual other show after Korra. The only thing I don't like about Korra is it does lose the whimsy because they do advance the world. I can respect that they had the balls to do a completely different show. Like Korra is polar opposite. The world has technology. It's got planes. It's got cars. It's got. But I love the characters in that show too.
It's also dark as shit.
Yeah. Oh, bro. People don't talk about like. See, my hot take. You thought sure 4 seasons like Zahir and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
I think season 3 of Legend of Korra is on the level of the peak Avatar: The Last Airbender with Zahir and like the Red Lotus. I love that shit. I could go on about that. And then season 4 with Kuvira. That's a dark season. She's dealing with like PTSD. Like she fucking hates herself because she failed the world. And like God, when a character I love hates themselves and their life sucks. That's why I love Spider-Man. When you see their life sucks, you're like, we're cooking.
Like, that's why people liked Harry Potter when it started.
Yeah,
his life fucking sucked before Hogwarts. That's why I think that's why people are. I think that's the reason why, despite everything that J.K. Rowling is doing to sabotage the series and everything with her stupid antics online and all the stuff she's been doing, people are endeared to Harry Potter because it is just a guy having a shitty time suddenly getting stuff. Good.
Bloke's parents got fucking smoked at like 1 year old, man. He got 1 year of them. Some guy walks in and just fucking evaporates them. It's crazy.
And you're stuck with the scar and everything, and you have several years of abuse with like a family that don't like you because you're different.
You get stuck with a middle. The thing people forget as well. If Harry grew up with his parents, he would have been balling because his parents were rich pretty much. Yeah, so instead, he's now stuck with an abusive middle class parents in Surrey, fucking Surrey of all places. Not even like London. Like it's like that's not an enjoyable experience. But
like the entire thing. Think about the opening of Chamber of Secrets. I remember constantly when I read it when I was a kid, and it was just how abusive they were. Where it was like, Harry's gonna be in his room making no noise, pretending he doesn't exist, and it was. I was like, man, that's why it was so like cathartic to see. Like, well, in the later books, it was cathartic to see as he got older. They actually were like, they saw him as a kid, like they saw him as a person, and I appreciate that. But that's the point. When someone is having a shitty time, it's more endearing to see how they come out of it.
And that's why Marvel films, I think, aren't as popular now, because I think in a lot of the cases, the characters are just like above. They're not relatable anymore. Like
they're above average.
I think a big reason people have really come to like Iron Man 3 of all films is because it's probably the most it's probably the most relatable Iron Man film, and one of the most related because like he's like. He's going through like PTSD, like he's like struggling. He's like
his relationship is struggling because he's constantly thinking about and the thing is the events of that lead into what ends up doing with Ultron. He has that's the thing. People like because he has a shitty time all the way up until he dies. That's like
he's also worried about Thanos coming for like 10 years as well, pretty much.
And then he actually does, and they lose, and then he has 5 years of like relative happiness before he does the ultimate sacrifice. That's why people like it so much. That's why none of the new Avengers movies are hitting the same. They won't. They won't. They won't.
I know Endgame people. I still really like Endgame. I don't think it's nowhere near as good as Infinity War, which is like an impossible movie to really follow up on on the same level. But I get why they wouldn't, because it would be a bit pointless. But like, if there's one thing I hope I would like. I know they're not going to do, but like when Doomsday comes out and they inevitably lose, I would, and they go to Battle World. You know Secret Wars, obviously, right? I would like them to do a few movies on Battle World, because like I would have really liked to see some like like Wonder Man is like it's like a very contained like thing.
Very contained thing.
Yeah. I would have liked to see some contained like they made a Hawkeye movie after Endgame. They should have made a Hawkeye movie during the blip. Or a show, sorry. Not a movie. A show.
I know what you mean, but I was like, the point I'm trying to beat is like.
But I'm talking about like that when it was so depressing and everything was destroyed. I like post-apocalyptic things.
The missed opportunity, man.
And I'm saying I think there's like a part 1 and part 2 makes a lot of sense because it's got the overwhelming like we need to see this movie, but like I would have just loved to see one movie in the middle between like imagine a Spider-Man didn't, I know he died, but like just hypothetically imagine a Spider-Man movie during all of that, and like Aunt May has died or something like that, and like he's on his once, like he's got to deal with
Ant-Man and the Wasp, dude.
Was that the only one they did, right? Between
Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel were the only 2 movies between Infinity War and Endgame, and the thing is they were both prequels. Ant-Man and the Wasp pisses me the fuck off because the only consequences like the post-credit scene. It fucking pissed me off as well. I was really hoping that they were gonna do more about that, but then again, the whole point about it leads into Endgame. But I'm more pissed that they didn't do anything about the blip. They didn't. The TV series
they tried to shove it down your throats in the fifth I don't know what they call the multiverse saga. When they first started doing it, there was talk about the blip, but you never actually see what happened during the blip.
You only see what happened after the blip because they did it in a comedic thing in Far From Home, which pissed me off.
Yeah. Like you could have. Steve doesn't die, does he? Steve's still alive because he's going to therapy.
The main ones all survive, except the main ones all survive.
You could have done a rogue Captain America movie, like where he's like a bit of because he's lost everything. It's like he's now a bit. I know we've got Winter Soldier and Civil War,
but after Civil War, remember, because in Infinity War was his rogue thing. He didn't have his shield.
Yeah, but imagine that, but amped up by 2, and maybe because in all the chaos of the world, Hydra have come back. That makes sense in my opinion. There's chaos everywhere. Captain America, almost trying to keep the world sane in a world which couldn't be sane. That would be so cool.
And we didn't get it. It's again wasted opportunity.
and another thing, we got a wasted opportunity. I think I said to you, it was either you or someone we were at during when we saw Endgame for the first time, when Cap gets the hammer and he goes to return the stones. I turned to somebody, knowing that Disney Plus is out. I said, we're gonna get a Disney Plus show or movie with Cap returning the stones.
You said that. Yeah.
And apparently Doomsday is going to feature some level of seeing Cap return the stones.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I get he's a lot of money. He was a hot prospect, and he probably, again, no, don't worry. I get why. It's it was the end of their story. I get that, but they needed. There was 2021, 2022 when they were really struggling. Yeah. Just bring him back. Just make the movie, and it would be a good movie. It is kind of original. I know it's desperate, but you're bringing him back anyway for an Avengers movie, which I'd say is the sloppiest slop you can do for it. At least do a good Captain America movie, because you just did a Captain America movie, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
Yeah. Yep, and that's the thing is I'm just thinking about Doomsday. This is before we move into anything else, thinking about Doomsday, I still wonder to myself, what the fuck? How fucking long is this movie gonna be? This movie's got to be 3 hours.
How are they doing Secret Wars in one movie as well?
What the fuck are they going to do for that one? Because they're doing both of them and they're shooting them back to back. What the fuck are they doing?
I think that they'll both be above 3 hours. It kind of has to be, I think, because you need to introduce the Fantastic Four to everyone and to Doom and create some form of thing between Doom and the Fantastic. It's there's so much to do. You need to introduce the Fantastic Four to the Avengers. And another confusing thing is I'm hearing that the Fantastic Four are going to be the main character. Because another thing is the movie wasn't that good, I'm not going to lie. It wasn't good. It was average. It was I like the Fantastic Four new actors. Actually, I like Johnny Storm. He's great. He's really cool. I like the new what's his name? The Rock guy. The Thing, right?
Oh, The Thing.
Yeah. I didn't really like Pedro Pascal.
I don't like Pedro. I locate Pedro Pascal for fatigue.
I think we all do, bro. I think they casted him at it could have just been John Krasinski. I know people don't want to hear it, but
I know. I know.
It could have just been John Krasinski.
I'm gonna. You're probably gonna get cooked for it, but I was just it's okay to say it's okay to say that a character's been miscast, man. It's okay. We're not saying that they're a bad actor. We're just saying they're miscast in the role.
Pedro Pascal has gone through I remember when he was in Game of Thrones, and I was goated. I don't know if I have fatigue or I just can't take him seriously anymore. I don't genuine. I know that sounds weird, but
I've seen his head explode, blue.
But that's what I'm saying. But that one role was a serious role in a serious fantasy thing. The Mandalorian turned into slop. Season 3
he wasn't.
The Last of Us.
He wasn't the equal. He was good. He was good, but then.
But also,
Last of Us.
Even then, you can argue it's a miscast because the guy who everyone has said it, but the guy that played Jaime Lannister was the perfect casting for
Joel.
For Joel. So because as I said, I've not played it, but I watched it and I know what happens. Yeah. I mean, I think he did fine. We're going to talk about miscasting Ellie. Oh God.
That's a can of worms. That's the whole kind of worms. Because the most annoying thing about talking about things like miscast and stuff like that is that you have the people saying, "Oh, it's miscast because of woke." And,
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
and I'm just you have to be like The Incredibles, where it's you're not affiliated with me.
Well, it's I can claim to not be a part of that, and the one saying I'm in the small camp of 10 people that actually likes Black Snape. So I like him.
I like the actor playing him because he was good in Gangs of London. He's good in Gangs of London.
Also very good in Black Mirror. He's in the latest season of Black Mirror as the devil, and that episode isn't that good, but he's the best part of it by a mile.
Sorry, when you said Black Mirror, I was gonna be like, I was about to make a joke saying, I really, really hope you're not confusing him with Daniel Kaluuya. I really hope you're not.
Oh no.
So what?
I'm right in saying he plays. I'm right in saying he plays the devil, right?
I haven't actually seen the latest season of Black Mirror. I think the only episode in the latest season I saw was USS Callister, the sequel. That's the only one I saw.
Yeah. I'm not being a bad person here. Papa Seydoux plays the devil in Demon 79. It's the first horror thing they did. I'm clear. I'm fucking clear.
I know. I had a double take for 1 second because when he said Black Mirror, I was like, you can't be talking about Daniel Craig.
Then that would get me in trouble.
That would get in a lot of trouble, but yeah, that's the thing. I think miscasts and everything is always interesting because the thing is, like, the thing with Pedro Pascal is that a lot of the roles that he's in, he's just there to die. A lot of spoilers coming, but like Game of Thrones, The Equalizer 2, The Last of Us, like I think he survives through Narcos.
Also, every franchise he's in, I don't know if people have realized, goes to shit. Star Wars, he was in The Mandalorian, it was great, and now it's gone to shit. No one gives a fuck about Star Wars. Game of Thrones, I mean, I know he left the show when it was good, but it did eventually obliterate. Even The Last of Us, not many people. Did they even do a season 2, or are they still working on that?
They did do a season 2, but it was really bad. They changed a lot of because the issue is that Last of Us Part. Yes, he dies in the very first. No, he dies early on in the game, but like
no, I know that. But does he die in the show?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does, and that's the problem because the way the game works is that the narrative in that game only works in a game format because the way they do it's a 20-hour game. They mix the narrative between the person who ends up killing Joel and Ellie going for revenge. The way they've done it in the series is that they've just done they've dedicated the entire series just to Ellie's perspective.
I still don't get why people are mad at Joel dying in the game. I feel
because the reason why, at the time, the reason why was that it was like, what's the justification? I think it was, again, the Bioshock Infinite thing of that you did something you didn't want to really do where it was like rescue Ellie, but at the same time, they retconned it into thinking that, the person you just so happened to kill was actually the character. It was a revenge thing. But that's what people were mad because they were like, it felt contrived at the time. That's why the game spends 20 hours trying to justify her choice in doing that.
I feel like the problem is it also came in an era where the quote of subverting expectations because of things like The Last Jedi was like not how.
Yep.
I also feel like in later years Neil Druckmann has not helped himself. He's very annoying on social media.
He's not helped himself at all. But it's that's so. We've still got. I've just realized how much stuff we've got to talk about, and it's been 2 hours already. It's nearly 2 hours already. Yeah. We got so much stuff for a first episode back. We covered a lot of ground.
We were like minimum an hour. We've gone for almost 2 so far. So like,
we were literally. When we talking about saying, I mean, if we have,
I knew it would be longer than a fucking hour. We both
we could both. Yeah, but I'm actually really happy with it. But I do think. Do you reckon just for this episode because we do need to make sure we have like we probably should update people on how the podcast is going to work and everything.
What, right now?
Just right now to end it off, to close it off. So we've already explained what the podcast is going to be, but if you're watching this now or you are listening to this, we're probably going to try and do this every week. What I said I wanted to do as a concept was that I wanted to try and watch some movies straight up with Fraser, and then we'll put it on a service. We don't know yet. This is way too early to tell, but we want to have more like movies and game reviews on the Coffee Club in general. And it's something that we really want to do with regards to frequent uploads. You can expect an episode on Monday. We'll try and, obviously you can see the visuals if you're watching this on YouTube. On Spotify, I'm not sure how it's going to work. Maybe we could pull some strings to get visuals working on Spotify.
I have visual ability on Spotify, so I could probably do that.
Yeah, but if you are listening to this or you're watching this anywhere, we're gonna have this like once every week. We're gonna try and be as consistent as possible.
Who knows? There may even be like more than one episode in some weeks where some big thing happens. Maybe.
Yeah, but big thing that maybe like who knows? But yeah, I'm happy to be back doing this kind of stuff. It gives me something to do and something to really talk about stuff. I think in general, if you have anything you'd like us to talk about in particular with regards to like entertainment and games and stuff, or you want our takes on stuff, make sure to either leave them in the comments down below, like on the YouTube upload. Like leave them in the comments, or like tag us on social media. All our socials are in the description and everything, and we'll get to it. As in, I really enjoyed just talking about stuff. I know this one was very, very all over the place, but I think that was kind of
I think that's kind of why we've wanted to just get this episode done, to like get back up to speed. And I think over time we'll find a place and have a lot of more. Because I spoke to you about segments and like having certain things that we do every week. I'd love to have a section where for 20 minutes towards the beginning of episodes we maybe go through some questions and give some answers. To just do not just like
do all that kind of stuff.
I really want to build like I know this podcast isn't going to be like a million fucking views.
Like a million views an episode.
But like, it'd be nice to build like because I've as I said, I've like really wanted to talk about video games and shows and movies on YouTube for a very long time now, and it's obviously not what I do on my main channel. So like it's going to be cool to build a platform here and go more into that world. Obviously, you're more in that world than me, but it's like it's such
but it's also like bringing you. It's like just when you thought you were out, I bring you back in.
Yeah. In terms of guests, do you think we'll get any in the future?
I think I don't want to spoil any guests that we do get, but I do have some big ones planned. I also like potential interviews with creators, because I know I'm going to be doing interviews and stuff myself, but I also will get some interviews with like some good creators that have done stuff, especially online as well, like series that we've watched, because we watch a lot of series on YouTube and stuff like that. But we have a lot of big plans. And I think
the number one goal, as I said to you, for me, either an early access video game code or invite to any premiere possible.
Any premiere possible.
We will review your video games to anyone watching this right now. Give us an early access code. It doesn't matter if it's the fucking Minions video game. We'll review it.
We'll review it. And also, it also won't be possible without you guys who are watching or listening to this as well. It will not be possible. So all the support is very much appreciated. And following when the podcast is out, like subscribing to the channel, there'll be an RSS feed and everything. But I'm really glad to be back doing this. Like genuinely, I'm really glad to be back doing this. Like a lot of stuff. Like I've got a DLSS upgrade from last time. Instead of just audio, we've got videos now. So we've like we never even addressed the fact that we are on videos and stuff like that. I have a 3D model, you have your camera. I think this is a really good layout. I mean, we will be experimenting with how the podcast looks in general, because there's going to be a lot of like experimentation that we're going to have to do, but I'm pretty happy with the output. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
I was also going to say, like, it's so I run another podcast with my friend John, and that's more about the things that I cover on my main channel, and that's like that can be quite difficult to do because we're in such different time zones. Me and Faf live like 20-30 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, so, like, exactly. So
we're gonna probably go to the cinema, watch like upcoming releases and stuff like that, and then we'll come
we have cinema membership, so we can just go and watch a movie.
Yeah, man. Like it's gonna be good, and like if you guys have requests or like even like criticism of how we can like move forward and like change what would appease to you guys.
We will listen because we really want to like make this into a thing, because we did 12 consistent episodes.
We were doing well.
We were doing well. I think it was just like a mixture of, I think COVID happened in the last episode that just caused us to just stop doing that.
Just a lot got in the way. I was also moving at that time, and it was like a bit of a dysfunctional time of my life. I can't lie.
Yeah, exactly. I moved like last year, so it's like I'm in a position where we could just do this now. Like finally, I'm at a position where I can just do it, which is fun.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Like I feel like right now we're both in like very. I love the word. It's like spots where we are comfortable in our lives, I'd say. Like, I'm 29 now. When we last recorded, oh my god, when we last recorded this, I would have been like 23, 22. That is fucking insane.
When I last recorded this, I'd have been 19. I'm 26 now.
That is disgusting, man.
I wasn't able to drink in America in the last episode, and now I can sign up for the army.
Fucking so crazy. We might have to sign up for the army, dude, with everything going on in the world.
Oh yeah. But yeah. We'll just be doing like movie trivia to the troops right before they go over.
We'll review our favourite war movies in respects.
Put a tier list of our favourite infantry.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
God, life back then was so different. Like, it's such a weird, like, in more ways than one. It's a different world where we're at now. Like, honestly, like, you're probably, other than my friend John, this is the longest conversation I've had with another YouTuber in like 3 years, probably. Other than like Jake and Joe, like, but they're like my actual friends. But
yeah, exactly.
I have very much separated I was telling you when me and Faf went for some food the other day. I was telling you, like, I very much pulled myself out of like the YouTube community for a vast amount of reasons. And I'm gonna stay doing that. But this podcast is a very good attachment to that. And I think if there's one thing that, like, just talking a bit of YouTube stuff, I spoke about this on a stream recently because I've been getting more into streaming again. I was like,
yes,
yeah, and I was like, I really love having like a connection with like a small niche group of people in it, and I think this sort of podcast is a really good thing to like do that. And even if it is like 2,000 to 5, I don't know how many views this is going to get. I don't even know what the title of this video is going to be. I don't know what that fuck.
I don't even know. I don't even know we're going to do anything. A thumbnail title, I have no idea. We literally, at the time of recording this, all we've done is just doing a slight logo refresh and a small. I've done a small teaser, but that is it.
It's coming out on Monday though. It'll have something. And yeah, again, if there's like topics you guys want us to go over, let us know. And yeah, like I think that next episode we'll try to have more segments and like plans.
Yeah, more segments and stuff. Because the thing is, I realized as we were doing this podcast internally, I was trying to think of when am I going to sort out chapters, and I realized we're not doing chapters in this one on YouTube. We are not chaptering this one.
Impossible. We have bounced.
Impossible to do it.
We have bounced between topic to topic to topic to
topic. Like a fucking DVD bouncing across each corner, dude. We haven't even hit the corner yet, dude.
Yeah, man, 100%. I'm proper hyped to see where it goes. Because like, there's no reason for it to not like last. Like, I think that's the one I said to you as well. I was like, I'm so frustrated with projects coming and going and not continue. I would love to, like, in 3 years' time, still have the podcast going consistently.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, it's been 6 years, and it's like, yeah, we're doing the podcast.
Yeah, one of the longest running UK podcasts, technically.
Actually, if you really think about it, we are.
Yeah, because even like, I think the only one that I can think of remaining from that time is like Happy Hour. If anyone listening knows what that is.
If anyone listening, but that's the thing. Shit, I'd really think about it. I'm just like, we've been doing it for well, technically speaking, this is like one of the longest running ones, and it's just do we even call this 7 years?
7 years.
Yeah, we actually hit the anniversary. It was February 2019 when we made the account.
Yeah, just after our birthdays, because me and Faf have the exact same birthday as well, which is hilarious.
Exact same birthday, yeah.
29th of January. Get everyone comment happy birthday down below. But,
but that's pretty. I was like, that's pretty good for a concept and everything. I'm just really excited. We're both really, really excited, and we want this to work. But like, at risk of going around in circles, do you reckon we should outro it now?
Yeah, 100%. And we promise to not speak about as much Cape shit as we have today.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even that much, to be fair, like, compared to the other ones.
I think it's just like, we promise to not have dedicated episodes to Captain Marvel. Like, we can still talk about it. I just ideally don't want to do an episode where I'm like, this is my review of Ant-Man 7.
Exactly. We don't want to do that stuff.
Unless they invite us.
Unless of course they invite us, and then we'll do dedicated videos and stuff. That's when the videos will come later. We pull a cold ones. We start with the podcast, and then we start getting things. That'll be great.
If Disney want to invite us to some events to watch stuff, I'll start twerking on that shit, man. I'll be bigging up the MCU every single day.
I'll be bouncing on it, dude. To that and on that kind of bombshell, thank you guys so much for watching I guess we call this the series premiere of the Coffee Club. I've made some alterations to the links that are on the channel, because I'm pretty sure there are podcasts called the Coffee Club that was taken on YouTube, so I had to make sure it was named properly. But show as much support as possible. Make sure to rate us like 5-star on like iTunes, Apple Podcasts. If Spotify is a rating system, do that there. Make sure to leave a like on this video, and if you are listening or you are watching, you've got plenty to binge. If this is your first episode, you can see how much younger we used to sound. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to the Coffee Club podcast, and I will see you guys, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye everyone.